Woo! Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. This week is flying by. Okay, so we've had a lot happen over the past 24 hours. Bob Melvin is now a San Francisco 49er, almost said. San Francisco Giant manager.
He has to play quarterback out there.
Yeah, because Sam Darnold's no good. Brock Purdy's in concussion protocol. That's an update there. Also, we've got NFL back today, Thursday Night Football. Bucks are heading to Buffalo to face the Bills. We got our favorite stepmom, Lauren. She's going to join us on the show to talk fantasy. That sentence, every time I say it, I get a little tripped up.
Yeah, but it's very intriguing, so I think it keeps people listening.
Yeah. You're right, Ben. Good. That's good radio technique.
It's provocative.
We got to keep the people coming back.
The people love it. I would log into the stream if I could log into our email. I don't know what
have you done.
I don't know. Should I try to restart?
You want me to send it to your Gmail?
No, I can't even. I can't do anything. I'm gonna have to restart. Fly by wire here.
It's a forced quit.
Yep.
It's a forced quit situation on TD's computer. We will update everybody. I know you're waiting on that edge of your seat. Big deal, though, here locally with Bob Melvin taking the job in the Bay Area. AJ Preller calls it an emergency press conference. He says, everybody get your Zooms fired up. We have a lot to share with you, and he effectively said nothing.
That's correct.
I want to know why he even does these things.
to check the box.
Completely honest. Like, why does he? Like, yesterday was not a necessary day for him to even have a press conference. Like, it's not about you, dude. It's about Bob Melvin. I thought we got a lot of information out of the Bob Melvin press conference that he had in the Bay Area. We got zero information from AJ Preller and the questions that were asked. And it's not like there were bad questions asked. Marty Caswell asked some fantastic questions. Bernie Wilson asked incredible questions that everyone wants answers to. AJ Preller gave us exactly nothing.
Well, he did exactly what he knew he was going to do, what we knew he was going to do. If he doesn't do this little Zoom presser, then now we complain that he didn't do a Zoom presser. He hasn't talked to the media. So it's... I don't know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, I guess. No matter what, we're going to complain. He, I'm sure, knows that. But did anybody expect him to say anything? I didn't expect him to say anything.
No, I don't know why anybody would complain about this. This is par for the course, not only with AJ Preller, but virtually every other head coach and general manager in the league, in baseball, but across all leagues, the NFL, NBA. These people are paid not to make sound bites. It's to win baseball, basketball, or football games.
Well, when you're not doing either.
Right. That's where it gets tricky for a general manager. But the worst thing you could do when you're not winning baseball games is also then make a soundbite that embarrasses the organization. So I don't think AJ Preller was looking to do that. And so, am I bored by just about everything AJ Preller says? Yeah, but I'm sure Peter Sadler goes, good. I don't want anybody to be entertained by AJ Preller, other than the fact that he's the architect of winning in San Diego. That's the job. He hasn't done that well enough and somehow still has the job. We'll see what happens in the future. I feel like we've said that so many times over the past decade that AJ Preller has been lording over this organization. We'll see what happens next year, but quite literally, that's where we're at again after the 2023 season, because Bob Melvin, I guess that didn't work. So we're sticking with AJ Preller, and we're going to see what happens next year. I don't hate it. That's the one thing that I can tell you is I don't hate the decision to keep AJ Preller and to allow Bob Melvin to leave, because it's something. They did something.
That is very true. That is very true. I mean, it wasn't like everything stayed the same and here we go again. So something is going to change. That is very true. I just don't know. I mean, where do you go that you improve from what your team should have been? I mean, obviously there was some major discord. Obviously there was a major disconnect because you should have come out.
Not according to AJ Preller. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
In fact, they shared a lot of success over the last 2 seasons.
Well, and that is actually an accurate statement. I don't think that is inaccurate, but where the problem lies is at the end of every season, there's a report card, and the report card is those wins and losses. And I mean, how far you got in the season. And right now we're staring at a Diamondbacks team in the World Series who was supposed to be awful, I mean, it was a joke at the beginning of the season, and now here they are, and Padres and Padre fans are sitting here going, we just lost our manager.
All right. If you want to hear from Bob Melvin, stay right where you are. He had a lot to say to the media yesterday. Again, he didn't say too much about the Padres situation, but there was a little nugget hidden into his introductory press conference with the San Francisco Giants. Also today, we have a pair of tickets to see Billy Joel and Sting at Petco Park on April 13th. Tickets and info available at livenation.com. You have to be listening for the mashup, though. And when you're listening for the mashup between Sting and Billy Joel, you also need to have the code word from yesterday. The code word we gave out yesterday, and I'm going to say it one time during the show, is backdoor. Woo! If you're caller number 6, and it'll make a lot more sense in a second. If you're caller number 6 and you have the code word backdoor when you hear the mashup between Joel and Sting play today, you will win those tickets for next April show at Petco Park. But we got some Thursday night football tonight.
Hell yeah.
All right. Buccaneers
baseball
heading to Buffalo. Well, we're going to get back to baseball. We have to, unfortunately. But the Bills are heavily favored in this game, hosting the Buccaneers. Josh Allen hasn't looked quite right this season. The Mayfield magic in Tampa Bay may have worn off a little bit. What are our thoughts on this one?
My thoughts are Vegas is begging you to take the Bucks, like begging you on hands and knees to take the Bucks because they have the Bills favored by 9.5 points. And that means Vegas is predicting a big bounce back game for Buffalo, or they know some sort of trend. I mentioned the trend yesterday. Baker Mayfield against plus defenses is not a very good quarterback so far this season. His wins have come against maybe teams that have struggled defensively throughout the season. Outside of the Saints win, that was a really good one for him. So when you look at tonight's game, the Bills, who do have a plus defense, even though they haven't necessarily been playing like it this whole season, Vegas is expecting this to be a trouncing, and they're begging you to take the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, just take a step back and look at the two teams. I mean, I understand if you're trying to piece together what happened last week with Buffalo and really over the course of the season where Buffalo has struggled. But if you just take an overview, yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster as Fletch is doing the roller coaster motion with his hands. But if you just take a step back and look at these teams, I mean, Buffalo is a far better team. So they should win. To me, they should beat this spread. I would also go Buffalo on this.
Yeah, I mean, New England beat the Bills pretty soundly last week, though. I would say of the losses last week, that was probably the worst of the two. It's interesting. I don't have a tremendous amount of faith in the Bills after watching the way that they played. And so, yeah, I mean, I understand that Vegas is begging you to take the Buccaneers, but I could also see people thinking to themselves, yeah, but 9.5 is a tasty little line if you believe in the Bucks, or excuse me, in the Bills at home on Thursday Night Football, who need a big bounce back, and they've got to win by a touchdown and a field goal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You get that half point, that's a winner. It doesn't matter how you win. It doesn't matter how big you win. You're just looking for the win. So in terms of the betting line, this is a stay away game for me. I don't really love betting or even discussing lines on Thursday night because these are wonky matchups. You know, you have a short week to prepare if you're the Buccaneers. The Bills, they've looked sloppy and could continue to on a short week of preparation. I do like the matchup, though. I think the Buccaneers have been better than advertised this season. Mayfield has definitely given this team life. Yeah. They went on the road and they won in Minnesota earlier this season. Nobody had the Buccaneers winning that game. Sort of feels like the same mentality here. You start counting out Baker Mayfield. All of a sudden he reminds you, oh yeah, he can play. Yeah, when he's healthy, he can play.
And last week, all of a sudden you see Mike Evans again, just doing it like he's done it year after year after year and go, oh yeah, he's still on the team.
Right. So a question for both you guys, Rich, TD, what do you need to see out of Josh Allen tonight to put the Bills back in that conversation of being a top 5 team in this NFL? Because they do have a top 5 roster, but they have not been a top 5 team.
There needs to be a commanding victory here. I mean, in my personal opinion, just a win, eking it out does not bode the confidence that I would need to go, yeah, this Buffalo's Bill team, they have it. To me, Josh Allen needs to go out there and just command the field. And every time he's out there, it's they're going to score, or they're going to threat to score, or he will make something happen. That really hasn't happened. Well, every game, I think there's been a couple, but yeah, I mean, to me, they have to come out and dominate. And I'm leaning towards they will. I think they're going to roll on the Bucs.
Well, the Bills, what I would say I would need to see from Josh Allen for the Bills to win, first of all, tonight, but also for the Bills to even come close to covering that spread. And what I need to see from Josh Allen is less mistakes. In the games they've lost so far this season to the Patriots, the Jags, and the Jets, he threw an interception in the Patriots game. He threw an interception in the Jags game. That one was overseas in London, but no excuses. He threw a pick and it cost his team, and he threw 3 in the opener against the Jets. And by the way, fumbled another one away to that Jets defense. So it's one of those situations where Josh Allen is his own worst enemy right now. He's trying to do too much. And when he gets in that mode, yeah, sometimes he goes off and he has an amazing game. But when he tries to do too much against a better defense, a more established defense, he struggles. 5 of his 7 interceptions this year have came in his losses. Of course, 3 against the Jets, but still, that's too many interceptions. You can't do that. So that's what I want to see from Josh Allen is more mistake-free football, because when Josh Allen's not making mistakes, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game. When he is, I mean, this puts him on the second tier of quarterback play. He becomes Dak Prescott, a better than average mobile quarterback who's a bruising runner when he wants to be, overall wants to stay in the pocket and protect himself, but makes too many mistakes for his team to be great. And that's uncharacteristic. It's not the Josh Allen we got used to talking about when they almost beat the Chiefs in the divisional round 2 years ago.
It's so funny, the narrative of Josh Allen throughout his career, isn't it? Because coming out of college, it was huge arm, right? But not necessarily going to work out at this level. Then he gets into the NFL the first year. You're like, oh, maybe we were all right talking about Josh Allen before he got into the NFL. I mean, he does have a huge special arm, but he's not accurate. He throws a lot of picks, blah, blah, blah. Brian Daboll comes in as the offensive coordinator for the Bills. All of a sudden, that offense just looks different. It's moving. It's high-powered. They had that crazy primetime game. I want to say it was against the Chiefs. Can't remember exactly, but Josh Allen showed out. They get to the postseason a couple years in a row. They had that divisional matchup against the Chiefs, like you mentioned, Rich, that literally came down to a coin flip. And Josh Allen's now being talked about as an MVP candidate every single year. And then this year's Josh Allen, it's like, well, the Bills aren't succeeding because of him so far this season. It's just strange to see the highs and lows of Josh Allen's career, and it hasn't been that long of a career.
I'll push back on one part of that. I agree with almost everything you said. They're having success because of him. There's no question in my mind with a different quarterback, you have worse results. But he's also the reason why they've lost some games, which is you can't have it. If you're going to be considered one of these elite quarterbacks, this is the reason why I'm starting to get more used to the idea of people coming after Justin Herbert a little bit. Like, yeah, I know you're hurt, and yeah, I know you have a bad head coach, and gosh, this defense lets you down all the time. But you can't be the reason your team loses. You can't have those crucial interceptions or bad decision making that helps dump fuel on that fire, because other people around that organization are doing it for you. You don't have to be the reason, and Josh Allen's been doing that.
Rich, was there ever a time when you played with Tom Brady that he wasn't hurt?
He was hurt. He was questionable to play every single week.
That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
And here's a guy that goes out there and wins games and finds a way to win games. And there's never a moment where you go, should we not have Tom Brady on the field? There's never that moment. So yeah, you're questionable every single game. So it's. I mean, yeah, you're saying it correctly. Look, he's got to go out there and not make mistakes.
Yeah. It's the biggest part of being a quarterback is playing mistake-free ball. Well, we got Thursday Night Football. We were just talking about it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to Buffalo. They'll face the Bills. Kickoff tonight, 5 p.m. The betting line right now, Bills favored by 9.5 points. Staying in the NFL for a moment, Brock Purdy in concussion protocol. Might be the Sam Darnold show this upcoming weekend for the Niners. Woo! After his second consecutive starting, or I should say loss as a starting quarterback.
This is going to be incredible that we are going to see the greatest arm in the history of the NFL to grace the field.
In the history of the 49ers.
49ers.
Yeah.
49ers. Sorry.
Yeah, Sammy Darnold. He may take the field. We're not sure. Brock Purdy, though, has a good excuse if he wants to take a seat on the bench. All right. In Major League Baseball, Diamondbacks are going to be heading to Arlington Stadium. They'll face the Texas Rangers tomorrow night. That's a 5 p.m. first pitch if you're interested in the World Series. And look, we'll get back to the Padres, but first, let's take a slight departure. We all celebrated National Tight End this week, Tight End Day this week, right? In our own ways.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, were like, oh my gosh, I'm a huge name it. Mark Andrews fan. I'm like a big George Kittle fan. Oh my gosh, Dalton Schultz. I have his poster on my wall. Like, we're all going crazy.
Don't leave out Dawson Knox.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows Dawson Knox is one of the best tight ends in the league. And Kyle Pitts, fantasy owners know how good Kyle Pitts has been throughout the year.
He's starting every single week for me.
If you leave Ross Dwelly off this list, I will slap you.
And people are like, Sam Laporta, like National Tight Ends Day is so important to me. Like, I don't know. My timeline was just filled up with National Tight Ends Day mentions. And, LeBron James, he's got his thumb on the pulse of America. Like, he knows the content that people want to see. And so he's really angling to be a part of every conversation. So, look, is he a National Football League fan? There's no doubting that. King James watches football. Just listen to him rack off some of the names of his favorite tight ends on National Tight End Day.
Happy Tight End Day. Yes, sir. Shout out all my tight ends out there, man. Beautiful thing. Travis Kelce, George Kittle,
Okay.
TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, yeah.
That's just to name a few.
Okay.
So many out there, man. Mark Andrews, stud, so, just to name a few. Dawson Knox. I can keep going on and on about some of the great Kyle Pitts. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could go on, but I won't.
Happy Tight Ends Day.
Wow.
Just want to talk to y'all about Foster Moreau for a little bit.
Happy Tight End Day.
Shout out to Foster Moreau.
I didn't know it was Tight End Day.
Yeah, well,
Sunday was, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
I missed it completely.
See, that's crazy because every year, you guys, you remember last year's Tight Ends Day. Travis came running into our office
Yeah.
like, guys, you know what day it is. Get a cake.
So I know it's not a big deal to like us or anyone else in the world except LeBron James, but it is a big deal to the tight ends. And I'm sure that they looked at the LeBron's video and was like, oh, that's nice of him. Except he has no idea who I am. He's clearly reading off a list behind his camera.
Yeah. I think LeBron James had somebody like, I don't know, named publicist Ron in his cell phone, right? So all of a sudden he got a text message, whatever morning that was, Sunday morning, and he goes, publicist Ron says I should cut a video shouting out tight ends today because it's National Tight Ends Day. And he thought to himself, do I have any better content to provide? Nope. I'm going to pull up a quick list of the best tight ends in the NFL.
Yeah, once he got through Travis Kelce and George Kittle, he was struggling.
I
feel like he bought a Travis Kelce jersey for a family member from NFL.com. And while he was doing the checkout process, it was like, check here if you'd like to receive promotional updates. And because he purchased a tight end jersey, NFL.com thought you might like to purchase more. So he just got that spam email. It's Happy National Tight End Day. Move over Tight End Day because today is National Chicken Fried Steak Day.
Oh, dude, I love a chicken fried.
No, dude, if he cut a video of him making a chicken fried steak, dude, like now you're talking, right? And now that'll get the people going. Just having him sit there and just be like, just want to give a couple quick shout outs to my man Fry Moose. Man, get well soon. Get well soon. Tight end. Holy God,
this is giving me an idea.
What's that?
Not anything about LeBron or tight ends.
Fried chicken.
No, but chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak
is a top hungover food for me. It's like near the top.
Chicken fried steak is like last meal food for me.
Oh,
like it's that high.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's do top hungover foods throughout the show today.
Top hungover foods?
Why do we torture ourselves?
70470. Start your message with team.
Are we allowed to have top hungover foods in 13 days when we wrap up the?
Yes.
We
Yes.
are. Is it just like a taster?
We should talk to Wayne and Chloe and see if we can get a day where we could do like some sort of potluck show where we each bring in something, you know?
Well, what we need to do is, I mean, continue losing weight, obviously, but make sure that we twist their arm about, but we need cheat days.
Yes.
Like the one thing I don't think I'll be able to live if I've had my last chicken fried steak.
Okay.
For example.
There was sometimes I get caught up watching Traeger videos on things they're cooking on the Traeger.
Naturally, it happens.
Okay. And there was something called over the top chili.
Talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm already in. You don't even need to explain it. Yes.
It was in this gigantic cast iron bucket. They put all the chili ingredients except for the meat. Okay.
Yeah.
It goes on the Traeger. It's cooking. It's smoking in there. On top of so it's underneath the top rack. On the top rack is the ground beef and the pork and everything in like a meatloaf thing. Above, like not a pan. It's sitting. It's just like a shape, meatloaf shape, sitting on the grill.
Oh, and it's just dripping. It's just dripping.
Yeah.
The meatloaf drippings.
Yes, and then that smoky meat.
Well, it's chili. There's no cheese.
No, you put cheese on top after.
Oh,
afterwards.
And then you flambe it, give it a little crust.
After it was cooked, they took that smoky meatloaf meat that had dripped all the drippings inside, and then crumbled it up and put it in the chili.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
I cried.
Yeah, honestly. What the description you just gave there, I would give one of my kids for that right now. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
No, which one? Go Deion Sanders.
Without question, Ty.
Okay.
Major pain in the ass.
Ty's on the S list.
Yeah. Major pain in the ass. Sebastian will hang on to him for a couple more years. Because honestly, I think I could groom him into, a human that's worth a lot more. Ty, push you right off the train. All right, coming up next, we are going to be joined by Lauren Carpenter, fantasy football expert. She goes by Stepmom Lauren on Twitter or X, whatever you call it now. She has a website called stepmomlauren.com. And if you're not careful when you're entering these search words, you are going to come up with a lot different circumstance than fantasy football advice.
Well, something you can watch with your parents. See yesterday's 8:45 segment for resources.
Also true. Also true. Okay. Also true is the NBA season's off and running. We got to see Victor Wembanyama yesterday, absolutely dominant. And if you want to stay glued in to the action in the NBA without really having to try, go ahead and play some Underdog Fantasy. So I downloaded this app 2 years ago now. I've been playing it ever since. Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. No easier way to enjoy the NBA season than this way. It's a fantasy game, but you can win real money. Pick between 2 and 5 players. Select whether to go higher or lower on their stats, and then do what you do. Watch the games. You can win 20 times your money in a single game going 5 for 5. Legal in California. Ton of fun to play along as you watch. Okay, so Bob Armstrong, listener of this show, he downloaded Underdog Fantasy and he used the promo code. I'm going to give you that promo code in a second. He doubled his deposit, his first deposit, and he's now up to $800. He's up to $800 in his Underdog Fantasy account. He is absolutely crushing it. He was sending me DMs on Instagram earlier today. So if you want to play, go to their easy-to-use mobile app or underdogfantasy.com. And when you sign up with this promo code, XTRA, just like Bob. Underdog will double your first deposit of $10 or more, up to $500, but for a limited time only. Plus, new customers will receive a mystery special pick live in their Pick'em lobby. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code XTRA. Get your first deposit of $10 or more doubled up to $500, plus your special pick. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Coming up next, Stepmom Lauren gives us some fantasy advice.
All of our fantasy needs will be met. Coming up with Stepmom Lauren next.
This update is presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Starting off here in the NFL, Week 8 kicks off tonight. Tampa Bay making the trip to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills favored by 9.5 points heading into the game. In baseball, Bob Melvin spoke to the Bay Area media yesterday in his introductory press conference as the San Francisco Giants manager. He talked a lot about a narrative that was happening here in San Diego and why that was the right time to leave. In the NBA, almost everyone was in action last night. First overall pick, Victor Wembanyama, made his regular season debut for the Spurs in a 126-119 loss to the Mavericks. Luka Doncic, by the way, triple-double in the opener. He was awesome last night. Wemby had 15 points in 23 minutes. And with the trade deadline rapidly approaching in the NFL, we're hearing reports from around the league that the Titans, Commanders, and Vikings will be the biggest sellers come October 31st. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with Code SPORTS, because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions do apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Big Rashidi and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Rolling through a Thursday here. We still have a pair of tickets to see Billy Joel and Sting at Petco Park, April 13th. Tickets and info at livenation.com. But you have to be listening for a little mashup, a little Billy Joel Sting mashup. Once you hear it, be the sixth caller and have the keyword from yesterday. I don't think we're giving it out again. You're going to have to listen and hear how we work it in. But you got to have the keyword and be the sixth caller. It could play at any time. So you got to keep it locked in here so you know when to call. Just listen for that mashup. Meanwhile, it is Thursday. We have Thursday Night Football back. Thank God. I don't like going days and days without the fantasy football, without football, and of course, without playing fantasy football. Yeah, there it is. She joins us every single week here now because it's locked in. She's your fantasy expert. She's stepmom. She's Stepmom Lauren Carpenter. You can find her at Stepmom Lauren on X or Twitter or whatever you like to call it. And today she is in full Mandalorian mask. It is the way, Lauren. It is the way.
Mandalorian.
What? Mandalorian. Mandalorian.
Oh, I can't handle it.
What?
I don't know how he crushes people in this mask.
What? It's too hard to see out of?
It's impossible.
Wait,
I can't do it. I can't even breathe in it. It's
What?
terrible. Hold on.
Wait.
My 9-year-old nephew will love me for this.
Yeah, well, everyone will love you for that. But
Thank
come on
you.
now, Mandalorian's top notch. Are you a Mandalorian fan, or you just found
Huge
the map?
Mandalorian fan. No, I'm a huge
Yeah.
Star Wars fan.
It's
Freak,
space-
Star Wars freak over here. Yeah, my I have two older brothers who are 6 and 8 years older than I am, and they were like just right in there, smack in the 80s with the amazing OG Star Wars. So as the little one who always wanted to be like, I'm just like my brothers, I was obsessed with Star Wars. I still am. I think it's fantastic.
What's the best Star Wars?
Oh no, I'm gonna have
have
to
an
go.
easy answer.
I really like Return of the Jedi. I think
Okay.
that one is by far
Okay.
the best, but Empire Strikes Back is a
Yeah.
very close second.
Empire Strikes Back is the number one for me. We're nerding
wait,
out over here.
Rich,
Big time
did you-
Phantom Menace guy.
What? Phantom Menace?
I'm kidding.
What?
I'm
Phantom
kidding.
Phantom
With
Menace?
Jar Jar Binks?
What?
I do love Jar Jar. He's got a bad rap.
What? Golly. What the hell's going on?
The Mandalorian mask is fantastic.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going as for Halloween?
Oh, that was a lame one. Hang on.
Hey, yeah.
No, I'm not.
Good for
I
Halloween.
actually don't dress up on Halloween anymore because I don't have a 22-year-old body to dress up in adult costumes. So
Wait,
I
wait.
just
Wait a
pass
second.
out
Wait, hold
candy.
on.
Wait a
Hold
second.
on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. That's,
You don't need to have a 22-year-old body to
Yeah.
dress up in a sexy, I don't know, alligator costume, whatever. it is. Basically, any adult woman costume is just taking the word sexy and put it in front of a noun.
yeah.
I wouldn't just keep that at women, Rich,
That's
because
true.
Rich, you've been a sexy nurse like 5 years running,
Okay.
6 years running.
Well done. Well
Yeah.
played, sir.
Okay. Yes. And I have the legs. Look, the point is, it's,
Yeah.
it is you could be any shape or size on Halloween. I think that is my favorite part of the holiday.
That is true, but I've always wanted to dress up in that like inflatable T-Rex costume so I can just run around and my dogs are dressing up though. I have them in huge spider costumes that look real
Yes.
scary and
For
lifelike.
the
So
love of God, please on our next visit be dressed as an inflatable T-Rex.
Please. Yeah. A sexy inflatable T-Rex. Right.
right. Put some eyelashes on or
Yeah.
something.
Bikini top
Yeah.
on the
just bikini bottoms.
I think that
Oh my
T-Rex is
God.
from France.
I cannot look at that T-Rex's eyes.
Lord, we could do Halloween Star Wars talk all show long. But
I know,
think
I'm
we
sorry,
need to
guys.
know. No, it's
No,
not.
no, no.
Is Sam Darnold in your starting
And we
lineup?
will. I gotta ask you more about you. No, I'm kidding. Yes,
No,
Sam
I'm kidding.
Darnold.
No, no. Sam Darnold is not going to be in my starting lineup unless you're super desperate. I think he's going to do great for real football. But this is just going to be good for the other pieces in San Francisco. I'm not really going to rely on Sam Darnold. Again, not to repeat myself, which I do frequently anyway. Only if you're super desperate would I play Sam Darnold, but I mean, there's a lot of injuries though. So I actually do have another PSA aside from move all of your Thursday night players out of your flex position into the regular roster spot. I'm going to want to say that every single Thursday, just to remind everyone. We have a lot of questionable tags associated with a lot of starters heading into this weekend. Now, it's only Thursday morning, so we still need to hear the Thursday practice report. Friday is critical, but have your eye on some of those backups. A good example of this is Alvin Kamara has been sick, so there is a possibility that he could not play or he's going to be limited. He could be a full go, you never know, but it does not hurt to have someone like Jamal Williams on your bench if you can afford to do that, just to pivot away from someone like Alvin Kamara or just snatch him away from one of your league mates that has Alvin Kamara.
We're joined this morning by Stepmom Lauren on
I'm a
the stream.
Mandalorian. I don't know who this person is. Name's Stepmom
Okay,
Lauren.
sorry.
Oh, it's Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
That's Mandalorian. It is Mandalorian.
That's right.
Mandalorian is joining us on the show. You can find Mandalorian at stepmomlauren.com or, of course, Stepmom Lauren on Twitter. Okay, I wanted to ask you about Kyler Murray back at practice. I don't know what his rostered percentage is in fantasy leagues, but is that a guy right now you want to grab and stash if you're in a league where he's available?
I do. I would recommend doing that. However, I do not ever like starting guys when they're coming off of any kind of significant injury that is injured reserve. That is especially with something like what Kyler Murray went. I do that all the time. I always call him Kyler Murley. It's like a thing. It's like Wookiee wide receivers. They do that too. That's really great. I cannot help
Back to
it.
Star Wars.
I know. I cannot help it. But I would definitely pick him up and stash him if you have the opportunity to do so. Once he starts getting a little bit more comfortable with his legs underneath him on a real NFL football field, it might take a couple of weeks for that to happen. So I wouldn't start him right away, but having him stashed on your bench is pretty key. And he's known for his mobility. So let's go, Kyler. Let's go. Let's go, Kyler. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm going to attempt your last name because I'll say Murley again. And it'll be fine.
Kyler Murley.
Kyler Murley is he's now on my roster. Hey, who else is out there, Lauren? What's a sneaky one that's on nobody's roster that you could grab and get a few points?
So we have a couple of them. This one may be on people's rosters because I think he's around 50% owned, but pick up Rashee Rice. Wow, I speak English. I swear. Actually, I sort of just bumbled through it. Rashee Rice, wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is starting to become the second in targets. He's on the field a lot. Patrick Mahomes is starting to create a chemistry with him. So I like him. If he's available, snatch him. A couple of interesting plays. Josh Downs. This is going to be my sleeper because Travis, I know you always ask me about the sleeper. I'm just going to throw it out here right now. Josh Downs, everybody. Pick him up if he is just I don't understand how he's still on the waiver wire. This is ridiculous. Josh Downs he's a PPR monster. I absolutely love him. Gardner Minshew loves him. Let's go. It's no longer the Alec Pierce show. All right. This is Josh Downs season in 2023. I like him. Another sneaky start that I do like is Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren has starting to really confuse us. For those of us who know Mike Tomlin and his tendency toward the bell cow situation, it's no longer like that in Pittsburgh. So this is a curious one, but if you are desperate at running back, or maybe you need to pivot away from someone who has that questionable tag, I do not mind playing Jaylen Warren.
Lauren, this happens every single week when TD asks one of these questions.
I was wondering how many people were heading to their phones.
Rich has just added Josh Downs. And he beat Travis to the punch.
I couldn't do it fast enough. I can't log into anything today, Lauren.
So
Well done, Travis.
The force is strong with me this morning.
Forces.
Lauren, if you could just
This is the
text me
way.
the names first.
This is the way.
Yeah.
Subterfuge. Okay.
Okay, this is not specific to my team at all. I promise that. But Justin
Is
Fields
it your
goes
dynasty
down.
league? Because I don't want to hear it.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
This is regular. This is regular. I
It's
promise.
just going to be 12 to 14 minutes of Dynasty. Just buckle up.
There we go.
Ask you a couple questions about Malik Cunningham and what his future looks like.
No, but I
Right.
do have Rashee Rice in Dynasty, and I think that was the pick of the century. But anyways, Lauren, Justin Fields
And here we
owners who went and picked up Tyson Bagent after he got hurt, are you fine starting Tyson Bagent again over a guy like, say, Bryce Young or maybe even a Jared Goff who struggled last week?
I actually would not start him over Jared Goff. I do like Jared Goff on Monday night. I think this is a wonderful matchup against the Raiders, so I would not start him over Jared Goff. I don't mind the Tyson Bagent experiment. I would definitely start him in 2 QB leagues or a super flex option. Absolutely, not even a question. But I'm reserved and on the fence. We saw this with Nick Mullins. I think it was last year or 2 years ago when he came out in fuego for the 49ers. And then the very next game, it was terrible. So I'm not on that hype train. If you have to start him, I 100% get it. But I think there are much better options out there. Like I said, Jared Goff, who I like. Jordan Love. This is another option for him too. Even though stinky on the field, his numbers actually haven't been that bad, which is kind of shocking if my mouse would work, which it won't. So I can't read the numbers off to you. But yeah, I think there are some better matchups to attack this week. But if you have to, I get it. But definitely in super flex, go for it. Paris. What's up, Paris?
Yeah, Paris wants to know Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert. Who should he start?
This is a really good one. It depends on how your league scores. I do like Lamar Jackson, and I really like his mobility, so I'm going to give a slight hair to Lamar Jackson over Justin Herbert. Brandon Staley needs to figure out what the heck he's going to do with his offense. I just say get fired is what you need to have happen in order for this to get unleashed. So I am going to stick with Lamar Jackson on that, which bums me out because I absolutely love Justin Herbert, although he sounds like he needs a pocket square with some pens in it with the last name Herbert. But he's such a cutie patootie. I absolutely love it. Lamar Jackson for me.
You know what's funny, Lauren? You described Jordan Love as stinky on the field. That's what they called Fletch in high
No,
school?
it was
Oh.
Puddles.
Oh, it's
Oh, it's
Puddles.
Puddles.
Oh, Puddles. Yeah,
He
Puddles.
was a sweater.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
It was.
yeah.
Well, still is. Although he's lost a ton of weight, he's looking good these days. Stepmom, Mandalorian, sorry. Thank you so much for this visit. We look forward to it every week, and we'll do it again next Thursday. Same bat channels, same bat place, 6:30 on Thursdays on Big Rich TD and Fletch. Thank you again.
Yes. Oh, the pumpkin nails are now out.
Yeah,
Nicely
because
done.
they're so cheap, they fall off after like 2 or 3 days. So I always have new nails. Don't worry, I'm not this festive all the time. I'm just trying to get into the holiday spirit because I hate horror movies. My idea of Halloween shows is Halloween Baking Championship and Halloween Wars on Food Network. Other than
like
that,
it.
I stay away.
That's,
I like it.
That's basically us too.
Yeah.
So you have company there. Lauren, thank you again.
Have a good one, guys.
There she goes.
She's the best.
Stepmom Lauren, she is the best. If you need any fantasy advice for your team, updates, news, stepmomlauren.com. Also follow her at Stepmom Lauren on X. Okay, coming up next, we barely scratched the surface on what's happened with the Padres. Bob Melvin has left. He's flown the coop to the Bay Area. He spoke out at his introductory press conference yesterday. We have that sound coming up for you next.
Bomel, no longer the manager of the Padres, but he had some things to say about San Diego. We'll let you hear it next. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let it wash over you.
Ooh. This is not a mashup, though.
Mm-mm.
But every little thing she does is magic.
Gosh.
Wait, is this for the Mandalorian?
It might be.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
Yeah.
Honestly, she's incredible.
Stop calling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are people who are confused. We're gonna play a lot of Sting. We're gonna play a lot of Billy Joel throughout this show, just because we're big Sting and Billy Joel fans.
Right.
But you have to be waiting. Well, you got to wait for this chorus. Hang on.
Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she does, it turns me on. Those are actually the words, by the way.
Sure it is, Travis.
Everything she does.
Every time the stepmom visits,
it turns me on.
Travis gets a little excited.
Why is it dues?
I don't. You know what? That's poetic license.
Yeah.
Sting does.
Sting does what Sting does.
No. Sting does what Sting does. All right, listen. We are going to be giving away tickets to the Billy Joel Sting concert.
Poison. Like, this dude's just obsessed with things that hurt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. April 13th show. Tickets and info at livenation.com. You got to be listening for the mashup, though. Be caller number 6. Have that code word from yesterday. We told it to you yesterday, and you'll get a little hint as to what it is right now. But have that code word, and you'll be going to this concert. And we have one more pair after today coming up on a Bar Cart Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle tomorrow. So be listening for that as well. Okay, so Bob Melvin is the new manager of the Giants. Let's just, before we hear from Bob Melvin, let's just stop the record and talk about it. How do you feel? How does it make you feel that Bob Melvin is no longer the Padres manager? He was under contract to be the Padres manager, but no longer is. And he's now the manager for the Giants. Go.
Physically ill.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's disgusting what's happened over the last month since the Padres got eliminated from the postseason. I think that the fact that AJ Preller has now 2 times gotten on Zoom press conferences, which, by the way, is the worst thing to come out of COVID. Maybe not the worst, but I hate Zoom press conferences.
Second worst.
Second worst. Yes. But when it comes to Bob Melvin leaving, like, this wasn't his fault. And he almost feels like, listening to him speak yesterday, that he had to get out of here because of something that was happening in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, my initial reaction was, are you kidding me? Kind of a gut punch, but oddly, a day removed from it, I'm like, I mean, I get it.
Let's go kick his ass.
Yeah, well, no, I don't feel that way, oddly, at least not yet. But it's just kind of like inevitable. Like, you knew it was going to happen. The breakup went down. They ripped the Band-Aid off, and now we're sitting here going, okay, so where do we go from here?
Yeah, you know what? Oddly, I feel more measured today than I thought. Yesterday, I was pissed. I was pissed at AJ Preller. I was pissed that he's created an environment where a manager of the esteem of Bob Melvin can't find a way to coexist with him. I was excited about Bob Melvin being the manager of the Padres. He brought this team to an NLCS in whatever part he had, whatever role he played. But I've always said this. I don't think managers do all that much anymore in Major League Baseball. So after the sting has worn off,
or the Billy Joel,
or the Billy Joel has worn off, after it's worn off from feeling like, oh yeah, this is a crummy situation that AJ Preller's created. Now I'm on the other side of it saying, if they couldn't get along, this was not going to work.
Now, have you guys heard this audio yet? Bob Melvin,
yes.
The press conference. Okay,
yes.
So it's just interesting to me that you're not still upset after hearing this.
Well, we'll play it and then I'll give you my reaction. I'll tell you why it doesn't make me upset.
Look, I really don't want to get too much into the San Diego situation other than the fact that I really enjoyed my time there. Some things transpired last year in a difficult year for the team with high expectations. I think there was a narrative at the end that probably wasn't going to go away with me being on my last year of my contract. And I think as far as that organization goes, it's probably not fair if that narrative continued through, next year. So all things considered, this opportunity came about, and, for all the reasons I stated, this feels like the right one for me. But I very much enjoyed my time in San Diego. It just seems like with a lot of things that were popping up there, it just was time to move on.
Okay. Let's get our full reactions to that on the other side. 7 o'clock hour. We'll start with Bob Melvin. Bob Melvin. And I understand that reaction, but I'm going to give you spin that may calm you down. So there's a lot of people that had your reaction, Fletch. TD, I don't know where you're out on this yet. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, but I'll spin this and it'll make you feel better about the whole situation. I can guarantee it.
I doubt it.
I'm going to do that on the other side. But before I do, want to talk to you about my recent weight loss. I'm closing in on 40 pounds down working with ST Fat Loss. I've done that in 6 weeks plus 3 days. 4 days? 6 weeks and 4 days. So we're talking about 46 days. I've lost close to 40 pounds. I'm not using injections.
It's actually incredible.
I'm not counting calories at all. I'm not counting points like you do on certain weight loss plans. No prepackaged meals. I'm not eating any sort of, protein bars or mystery shakes where, you just sort of don't feel satiated throughout the day. I'm eating real food. I'm fasting intermittently, and I'm losing a tremendous amount of weight. Okay, so I have this care team, Wayne and Chloe. All three of us have been working with these great folks over at SD Fat Loss. I check in with them whenever I have a question about the diet plan that we're on, and I'm fitting into clothes that haven't fit in a long time. I'm feeling better. I was talking about it the other day about how I'm getting down on the ground with the boys, and we were playing Mousetrap the other night. My knees don't hurt as much getting down to the ground and getting back up. It's the little things,
And look at how much that changes your life.
Yeah.
Your kid's life, your family's life.
Dude, I mean, helping out with laundry. Do you realize, even just, it used to be, because at 300 pounds, bending down and pulling the clothes out of the washing
You didn't
machine.
even fit into the laundry room.
That's right. That's right. And now I do. We used to have to grease the doorway with butter. Do you know how much money we were spending on butter? Not for consumption, just to grease doorways.
Can I tell you honestly about being too big for stuff?
Yeah. Let me hear it.
Kendall mentioned last night that she feels like she has more room in bed.
No! That's amazing! It's amazing.
Which is odd because every 30 pounds, there's another inch.
Stop.
Yeah.
What?
And it's true. That's medically proven. I'm down 40 pounds, 1 inch and 1/3. Anyways, look, if you've tried to eat healthier to lose weight and you've been frustrated with non-results, if you've tried every diet out there and nothing seems to work, if you haven't lost any weight and you've tried the prepackaged meals, I want you to go to sdfatloss.com. Check them out. 858-665-3211. The three of us goons, we've had a tremendous amount of success with this. Trust me when I tell you this. Maybe you and a spouse, you and a buddy, you and a couple of buddies, do it together. You're going to lose a lot of weight too. Okay, coming up next, we'll replay that Bo Mel sound in his introductory press conference over in the Bay Area, and then we'll give you our reactions. And I'm telling you, if you hate Bo Mel today, I may change your mind. That's next.
This update is presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. We're going to start off here in the NFL. Week 8 kicks off tonight. Tampa Bay traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills favored by 9.5 in this one. Baseball, Bob Melvin spoke to the Bay Area media yesterday. We're going to replay that sound for you coming up here, and we're going to talk about that coming up next. In the NBA, almost everyone was in action last night. First overall pick, Victor Wembanyama, made his regular season debut for the Spurs. That dude's tall, and he can shoot really well. They did lose, though, 126-119 to the Dallas Mavericks. Wemby, 15 points in 23 minutes. And with the trade deadline rapidly approaching in the NFL, we are hearing reports from around the NFL that Titans, Commanders, and Vikings could be the biggest sellers come October 31st. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with Code Sports, because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. A day away from a Bar Car Friday coming up tomorrow, brought to you by Keg and Bottle. 10 locations around San Diego, one up there in Santa Barbara, one in Chicago as well. Tony Kanja is going worldwide.
Do you guys feel like you want to visit these other Keg and Bottles?
Yeah.
So badly.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know why. Like, I want to go on vacation to Chicago so I can take a picture at Keg and Bottle Chicago.
I want to meet Chicago Jay. I want to meet Santa Barbara Jay.
Oh, you mean like Jay Kennedy?
Like,
yeah.
who's that person there? Because
Wait.
Jay is such a unique individual.
But do they have bars?
Oh, that's a good question.
So K&B Bistro is different from
Yeah.
Keg and Bottle. Keg and Bottle can be a K&B Bistro. There's no question about that.
Yes.
But not all Keg and Bottles have a K&B Bistro in it.
But I will swing by this Tierrasanta location on my way home.
Yeah.
Pick up a few items. And it's, it is also a Hogwarts of liquor stores.
I've been to that one. I've been to the Mira Mesa one.
There's one on El Cajon Boulevard.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I mean, literally 10 locations
You know
across
what?
San Diego County.
You know what Kendall keeps asking me to buy at Keg and Bottle?
What?
Boosa.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
espresso martini.
Huh. That's funny because I was also told to buy it. And I called and said they have 4 bottles. And she's like, yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
We're going to need all those. So
literally-
thank you very much. Yeah. Busa, by the way, if you ever been to Bar Busa down in Little Italy, awesome spot. We went down there after Bar Car Friday. We went that. Was that the same? Was that Michael Rappaport?
It was Michael Rappaport, same night.
Okay. So
yeah.
Rappaport came in studio. We had the owners of Busa in studio. And gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Was it Michael? Yeah, Michael. Yeah, Michael, great guy. Anyways, we went down, had a delicious dinner at Bar Busa, but also Busa espresso martini in a bottle made with oat milk. Absolutely delicious. And all of our wives have asked us to buy it because I'm in the club.
I'm never bad when I have to buy it.
The reason why I was told to buy it was because I drank it all. Annie was pissed. She's like, I thought you brought that home for me. I was like, oh, yeah.
What? But I wanted to make sure it hadn't gone bad.
I just was oat milk, right? Weird. Oat milk for sure. Because she's like, no, it lasts longer than regular milk. She was really upset, so I bought more. Anyways, try Busa. It's great. All right. Bob Melvin. Melvin. He is now the Giants manager. He is no longer the Padres manager. He had his introductory press conference. Let's play that again because it's pissed. This sound particularly pissed off Ben Fletcher. I don't know where you land on it, Travis. I want to hear your thoughts too. But I feel actually good about this. Here's Bob.
Look, I really don't want to get too much into the San Diego situation other than the fact that I really enjoyed my time there. Some things transpired last year in a difficult year for the team with high expectations. I think there was a narrative at the end that probably wasn't going to go away with me being on my last year of my contract. And I think as far as that organization goes, it's probably not fair if that narrative continued through, next year. So all things considered, this opportunity came about, and for all the reasons I stated, this feels like the right one for me. But I very much enjoyed my time in San Diego. It just seems like with a lot of things that were popping up there. It just was time to move on.
Want to ask TD first your thoughts, and then Fletch, I want to hear from you. But yeah, what's your reaction to that?
I think that Bomel did Padre fans a favor. I think he did him a favor. Look, sometimes a divorce is better for the kids. And I think that he's right. I think the narrative would have continued if there would have been any question about any loss ever. It would have been brought up that, oh, there's a problem with the front office. There's a problem with Bomel. There's an issue there. It's never going to be fixed. The same thing that happened last year is happening this year. As Fletch is feverishly writing down notes, are you making bullet points of what you're angry about?
Well, it's a 3-tiered cake. I want to make sure I have all the tiers correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, it is.
I honestly think that the team will probably be better off, not because of, there's definitely a better manager out there. It has nothing to do with that. I love Bomel. I think he's a great guy. I'm sad that he's not here as a Padre. If I were to choose red pill, blue pill yesterday, I would rather have Bomel than AJ Preller, just because of what I know of them out in the media. I do not know them personally at all. I just felt like the fault here, the blame, most of it would go to AJ Preller with this problem. However, if there has to be a divorce and that's going to make the Padres better, here we are.
Fletch, what do you think?
My first initial thought the first time I heard it, and I was listening to John and Jim a little bit yesterday also, but the word narrative placed in there, I don't love that that's the word. It's not a narrative. It's what was happening inside the front office and inside the managerial office of the San Diego Padres. He and AJ clearly didn't get along. And that would lead to the second point, which fighting at the top negatively impacted what was happening on the field. And that's the most inexcusable part about all this for AJ and for Bob. So we talked to Kevin Acee yesterday, and he mentioned, look, you can put the majority of the blame on AJ, and that's probably fair, but some of it has to go to Bob too. So the two of them, whatever they were doing in back closed door meetings and whatever, negatively impacted what was happening on the field, which was one of the best rosters in Major League Baseball that wildly underperformed, leading to one of the most disappointing seasons in not just franchise history, but baseball history. And then the third thing that I'm really more upset about than anything is that relationship was so bad that whatever was causing to go bad on the field now causes Bob Melvin, one of the better managers in all of Major League Baseball, to go to a division rival. So the things I'm pissed about isn't necessarily anything that he said outside of the use of the word narrative. He should have just said the relationship that would carry over into next year. And I agree, TD, it's probably better that he's gone because one of them had to go clearly. What I'm furious about is the fact that those two couldn't figure something out to at least make it better for the kids, if we're going with that analogy.
Everybody is confusing what Bob Melvin said. And if you listen carefully what Bob Melvin said, you're going to feel better about this. You're doing it too. John and Jim both did it yesterday. A lot of people on X and Twitter and Instagram and everywhere that they comment on social media, they were confused about this also. And I don't blame them because narrative is a tricky word. And you're putting a lot of your subjective analysis of this situation and words into his mouth that he didn't say. The narrative he was talking about is being a lame duck manager.
No, I get that.
Right. Wait, hang on. Before, because you spoke for a long time there. I just want to, if you replay, actually cue it up and replay it, you'll feel better about it. I'm telling you.
I knew he was talking about being a lame duck manager. That's not what I'm saying. The narrative that's going to carry over, though, is the narrative that he and AJ aren't getting along, so the lame duck manager is gone after that year.
Well, the whole thing is everybody's upset at Bob for that word. Everybody's upset because Bob's talking about the narrative that was going to carry over into the season. That wasn't what he was talking about. He wasn't. He just wasn't. He was talking about being on the last year of a deal and not being re-signed. If you listen carefully what Bob Melvin said, this wasn't a shot fired at AJ Preller. He wasn't talking about their relationship specifically. Bob Melvin was talking about his contract.
Look, I really don't want to get too much into the San Diego situation other than the fact that I really enjoyed my time there. Some things transpired last year in a difficult year for the team with high expectations. I think there was a narrative at the end that probably wasn't going to go away with me being on my last year of my contract.
That's it.
Yeah, I see.
But he's still saying there's a lot of things that transpired last year in a tough season, and I'm going to be on my last year of the contract, so I'm going to be gone anyways.
Again, everybody's getting hung up on this word narrative
because the narrative is the Dennis Lin and Kevin Acee article. That's what the narrative is.
To him, though, and I agree with him. When you are a manager, who is on the final year of his contract and you don't get extended, nobody has respect for you. When I am a football player and I'm playing for an organization where a head coach is on an expiring deal, you know what I know? I know that this guy is out the door. It's defanging a snake. Why is a snake dangerous or scary? Even the non-venomous ones. It's because they can bite you. If you take away his only way to threaten anybody in this organization or to have any power in this organization, what good is he to the organization? That's the reason why the Padres let him walk. Because they weren't going to extend Bob. Because A.J. Preller, whether you believe in A.J. Preller or not, doesn't like Bob Melvin and doesn't like working with Bob Melvin. Read between the lines. This is all very, very simple. So Bob Melvin, I agree with what he's saying. He did the Padres a favor. Everybody's like, he's a jerk. He was thinking about the Giants the entire season. It's like, no. He would be thinking about winning a World Series with the San Diego Padres, but he could not get along. Now, again, part of this is his fault too. It takes two to tango. It's a relationship like you described. This is a divorce, and maybe it ends up being better for both sides. But Bob Melvin was strictly talking about the fact that you would have zero power with this clubhouse if they know you're on expiring contract. So you got to get out of there.
I agree with that about 49% worth because I feel like that little, being my last year on the contract was dropped in there for niceties because I agree with Fletch here, Rich, that the narrative here is the problems in the front office. That's the narrative. I mean,
it's not going away. And it wouldn't go away.
And it wouldn't go away. It wouldn't go away because I don't think if there was a problem, if the Padres start out next season and it looked as awful as the start of this season, we wouldn't be going, well, it's because it's Bob's last year.
Hang on though. Who's to blame for this? So Bob Melvin is the next of 3 managers over 4 years who's come through the doors in San Diego. AJ Preller hasn't found a way to work with Andy Green, with Jace Tingler, and now Bob Melvin. So what, we expecting a difference with the next manager?
I'm not.
Like the definition of insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over and over again and have different results. You're not going to get different results. So again, going back to what Bob Melvin said, if he's not going to be, look, I'm sure if they said, hey, Bob, we're going to extend you. We're going to give you $12 million 3-year contract starting in 2024, and we're going to extend you out through 2026. He would have signed the deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad at Bob Melvin after hearing those comments. I'm more mad at AJ Preller, even more than I already was, because you know that whatever they had was not fixable, not to the point where Bob Melvin was willing to walk away when contract extension talks, sure, they haven't happened yet. They probably weren't going to happen, but he knew that wasn't on the table. And that is oversight by the San Diego Padres, who the dude that just took you to an NLCS 2 years ago, the dude that took you to a second winning record in a row after AJ Preller had zero success with winning records.
I misunderstood you. I thought you were mad at Bob Melvin. You're mad at the situation. You're mad at AJ Preller too. So,
and I agree with TD that this probably is what's best for everyone if AJ Preller's not going to release any sort of stronghold over this organization.
And if AJ Preller's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So if AJ Preller has to stay, he's the immovable object, then you have to move something else.
Yeah.
And Bob Melvin is the movable piece.
Completely agree with that. Like, you absolutely needed to make a move if this relationship was crumbling. And this is truly what's best for both parties, because you save $4 million if the Padres. AJ Preller is going to try to find someone, I guess, he could get along with in the managerial
in the couple
role.
$100,000 range.
Dude, it's going to be Ryan Flaherty, and nothing's going to get better. It's going to be Jace Tingler 2.0. That's my honest opinion of what's going to happen.
Well, the future's bright.
Here we go.
Well, I got a whole bunch of sponge candy because it's Thursday Night Football and the Bucks are at the Bills. Apparently, sponge candy, a Buffalo favorite delicacy.
What is sponge candy?
It's spongy candy. Don't know, but we're gonna find out here.
I've never heard of it before.
Neither have I until yesterday at around 12:30 p.m.
Texters, has anyone heard of it? 70470. Start your message with team sponge candy.
They're all gonna hear about it in about 12 minutes because we're gonna be talking to the people who make all the sponge candy for the world.
Oh, man.
Watson's Chocolates out in Buffalo. Bucks at Bills tonight. Bills favored by 9.5. Sports Illustrated is reporting that as the October 31st trade deadline approaches in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers, who are going nowhere at 0-6 this season will be sellers, and the buyers for Adam Thielen could be the Bills. That'd help out.
That would make so much sense with the amount of success Josh Allen had with Cole Beasley. That works.
Oh,
perfectly.
are you just naming
Because
white
they're
receivers
white?
racist?
No,
They
Rich.
are completely
Rich,
different players.
here's the analysis.
Cole Beasley is a completely different player.
Great route runners, super heady, intelligent.
What? Ben, take a look.
Extremely handsome.
And then neither of them actually.
Wait, what?
Adam
Adam
Thielen is a
Thielen-
handsome devil.
Yeah, he should be modeling Skims. Speaking of, Nick Bosa did come out and say that his holdout has held him back as being the best player he could be. Does that make you sad as a 49er fan, Fletch?
It's an excuse. Excuses are like belly buttons. Everyone's got one.
That's true. That's true.
I've never heard that phrase with belly buttons.
Yeah, I've heard it with.
That's the radio version.
Yeah.
Oh,
got it.
got it.
Yeah.
And the high school baseball coach version who didn't want to get in trouble.
Baker Mayfield's got a knee injury. Chris Godwin has a neck injury. Both will be playing tonight. So
That's why the Bills are favored by 9.5.
Also, you got to remember, belly buttons also stink. Have you ever dug in there and then
it's
sniffed
weird.
your finger?
It's weird.
It's like it's a sour, disgusting smell. Go ahead, Ben. Yeah, he's really.
Wow,
digging.
you are really going in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Told
Sour
you.
is the right word.
I'm telling you right now, as I'm speaking to you, there is hundreds of people right now digging in their belly button in their car or at their kitchen counter, wherever you're listening to us. And they're just sniffing their finger right now, and they're having the same reaction you had. If it's the first time you do it, it's shocking. You're like, I had no idea my body could make that smell.
I should clean that.
Yeah.
I should
And I
make that
do.
a point.
I feel like I did clean it this morning.
So I have the 4 hot spots in the shower. Every single shower.
Okay.
Armpits,
One of them is the hot spot?
yeah.
Okay.
Armpits, beehole, crotch, belly button, and then I guess throwing the 5th one. It's outside of the shower, but teeth.
Wait, do you
Those are the 5 hot spots.
is there like a focus on the rear exit?
Oh, specific.
Not just the crack.
I don't actually think it's all that healthy to shower every day, but I do think
Your body expresses a lot of natural oils that you're taking away when you use soap.
Nobody wants the natural oils that I'm expressing. So I'm doing the world
It
a
still
favor.
smells bad.
It's much healthier if I take a shower every day.
They
every
say
day.
you're not supposed to take super hot showers. Also, dude,
Are you disinfecting your finger right
he's
now?
disinfecting his belly button.
Wow. Lysol.
Ben just lights off
God.
his belly button.
Good God, man.
Oh, good
Wow.
Lord. Yeah. So, anyways, you learn something new every day. No,
Yeah, no,
actually,
no.
I will
Keep coming here with
vomit.
your finger extended.
Good Lord.
What the hell is going on?
Jeez.
Okay, so now he's got disinfectant wipes. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, I tuck that thing. Actually, just leave it in the belly button. Pack it up like they do gauze at the dentist. Yeah, trust me, you're gonna want to keep that sucker clean. But I'm telling you, yeah, those are the 4 hot spots in the shower, and then hit the teeth afterwards. You're gonna be fine. 30-second showers. You just got to hit the hot spots. Anyways, guys, did you know that Halloween is in exactly 5 days?
I did not realize that. Other than, it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So
Holy smokes.
It's also the NFL trade deadline.
trick or treating. Yeah, it's also
Yep.
trade deadline in the
Mhm.
NFL. Trick or treater is going to be around.
You know what's shocking to me is I'm getting a lot of messages. Well, I see a part of these different groups I'm in on social media, like my neighborhood groups, and people are asking, "Hey, what time does trick or treating start?"
Yeah,
It starts when it gets dark.
Yeah, whenever. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Texter just made a fantastic point.
What you got?
858. AJ Preller's goal is for the entire NL West to have former Padres managers. They're only the Diamondbacks away.
My
Oh my gosh.
Bud
Yeah.
Black with the Rockies.
Yep.
Wow.
Is Dave Roberts? Did he manage here?
He
was on the staff.
Interim, I
Interim
believe.
manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously Bob Melvin with the Giants. So all they need is the Diamondbacks. That's disgusting, by the way.
Diamondbacks who are in the World
And
Series.
another former Padres manager, Bruce Bochy, also in the World Series.
You want to hear something crazy about the World Series? Also, do you know how many former Padres are on that team?
Dude, there's a kid from Lakeside on the Diamondbacks team.
What's the dude? Started with a J. Jankowicz? No,
Travis Janikowski.
Yep, he's on the team.
Tommy
Austin
Pham.
Hedges is on the team. Ian Kinsler is on the staff.
Tommy Pham.
No, he's on the Diamondbacks. I'm talking about the Rangers. Bochy obviously is on the staff.
I thought you were just saying in the World Series.
Well, and also you remember the carryover AJ Preller with the Texas Rangers, so there's going to be some of that. But geez, man, it's a lot.
It's
a lot.
yucky.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to walk down memory lane sometimes. All right.
Oh God.
So, anyways, the reason why I bring up Halloween and trick or treaters is if you're looking for a candy to stuff in the bags and the baskets as these little gremlins and goblins come to your front door, sponge candy. It's a Buffalo favorite.
Never heard of this ever.
And we talked to Polly Martin, sponge candy maker.
You know what? I may have to hop in the GMC truck and just take a road trip out to Buffalo so I can get some sponge candy firsthand. And look, I take my GMC truck everywhere. It is my go-to ride. We have several vehicles at the house, but none of them compare to my truck. I love it, man. You can go anywhere. You want to go off-road and you can take it off-roading.
It's a 38-hour drive, TD.
I could do that. I could do that. The longest drive I've ever taken in my GMC truck, 19 and a half hours straight.
It's
How about that?
2,553.3 miles.
No problem. No
you
problem.
just got to go on the 140 and go east.
And check this out. While I was on my 19 and a half hour journey to up to Wyoming, on the way back, I know it was downhill, but I was averaging 29 miles to the gallon in my truck. Yeah. Woo! How about that? How about that? Yeah, look, I love the thing. I've had a couple GMCs in the past. When it was time to buy a new truck, I knew I had to get another one because they're amazing. And so is North County Buick Cadillac GMC. The place is spectacular. They have a ton of inventory. If you're out looking for a truck and can't find one, go to North County Buick Cadillac GMC because they're going to have the truck you want. And now through October 31st, the GM over there, Jamie and his team, they have some exceptional savings on GMC models like a 2023 Sierra 1500 SLE. This truck is spectacular. Go down, sit in one, 310 horsepower, 430 foot-pounds of torque. The thing's awesome. And it's $5,000 off at North County Buick Cadillac GMC. Or if you want to get a 1500 Pro, $4,300 off MSRP there. They are the best. Go visit them in the heart of the Escondido Auto Mall or online at ncbcg.com. North County Buick Cadillac GMC, exceeding your expectations every single time.
Sponge candy is a Buffalo favorite. The Buffalo Bills host Thursday Night Football tonight. Watson Chocolates make sponge candy. Polly Martin joins us to discuss sponge candy coming up next.
Move over, Wings, because when you think Buffalo treats, it's all about the sponge candy. We'll get to the bottom of it next.
This update is presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. We will begin this morning in the NFL. Week 8 kicks off tonight. Tampa Bay making the trip to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills favored by 9.5 heading into the game. In baseball, Bob Melvin spoke to the Bay Area media yesterday in his introductory press conference. He talked a lot about a narrative that was going around San Diego, and that is why he made his way to San Francisco. In the NBA, almost everyone was in action last night. First overall pick, Victor Wembanyama. He made his regular season debut for the Spurs. 126-119 was the final score in a loss to the Dallas Mavericks. Wemby, 15 points in 23 minutes. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Big Rich Heating and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760, and we have chances for you to win $1,000. $1,000 in your pocket every single day.
Love that money.
Love that money, because all you got to do is listen for the keyword and then enter it at sportssd.com if you'd like to win that $1,000. It's presented by Loan Pronto. Stop paying insane rates on your credit cards. Loan Pronto can help you tap the equity in your home so you can be credit card debt-free in less than a week. It's loanpronto.com, loanpronto.com. Now, we have made it not an on-purpose tradition here, but as Thursday Night Football came back, gosh, it's been 8 weeks of that now? That seems incredible. We started just looking at what foods were popular in the region of whatever Thursday Night Football game there was, and it became fun. We were talking to Kansas City Barbecue. Buffalo had a Thursday night game earlier in the season, and of course we went, well, of course, Buffalo Wings. We got to go Buffalo Wings. Well, as Buffalo plays again tonight, we thought we can't do wings again. There has to be something else that Buffaloians eat. So we're looking it up, or I mean, maybe it was mostly me looking it up.
100% you.
Okay, well, so there's something called sponge candy.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of sponge candy in my life.
And I purposefully have not Googled it.
Well, of course I have, obviously. You haven't looked it up at all?
Nope.
Okay. Well, joining us, Director of Marketing, Polly Martin from Watson's Chocolates out in Buffalo. Polly, how you doing today?
I'm doing really great. Thanks.
Wait, okay. Thank you so much for making this happen here, because we are all clueless as to what sponge candy even is. Well, let's start there. What is sponge candy?
Well, I can't give you the secret recipe, obviously, but sponge candy is a regionally famous confection here. It's hard to describe. A lot of people want it to be soft and chewy, but it's actually crunchy. It's airy. It has sort of a golden color to it. And the best part is that we enrobe it in some of the best chocolate you'll ever have.
Wow. Okay.
Just the word enrobe.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. Well, geez. I mean, I feel
Absolutely.
I've never even heard that word before. I feel like I want to be enrobed in chocolate.
And then I want to
Let me tell
derobe.
ya. There's that super famous I Love Lucy episode where they're sending chocolates down a chocolate line. And so that's what we do is we put the inside of that sponge candy on what's called an enrober. It gets completely covered in chocolate. It then goes through a sort of a cooler process where we box it up, and we've got 8 stores here in Western New York, and we also have an unbelievable website. We sell, like over 100,000 pounds of this stuff every year.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is okay. All right. So sponge candy. I've been to Buffalo, New York tons of times during my playing career, facing the Bills. And actually before I've been there a handful of times before I was even playing in the NFL. I had never heard of sponge candy until yesterday. So when did this come about? Like, is this something that's been a long time thing in Western New York? Is it newer? Like, when did this all start?
Sure. So we've been around over 75 years.
Wow.
Watson's is a family-owned business. It started as a luncheonette, and one of the owners who started making candy in the shop started making sponge candy. There's a lot of stories about where it originated. A lot of people claim to have come up with it. There's really no history to show who made it first. But it's been around a long time, and it's kind of like I said, a regional favorite. There's little pockets in the country that also have things that sometimes goes by seafoam or fairy food, but Buffalo's really become well known as sort of the capital of sponge candy. And we're super lucky because we win best sponge candy every year, hands down.
So, Paulie, we've been on this crazy diet and we haven't had chocolate, any of us. So this is really killing all of us right now. But when you talk about your job as the director of marketing, do you just get to sit around and eat chocolate all day?
Yeah, good question.
Oh my gosh. I tell you, I've already tried to log as many steps this morning as I can because it's tough. Not only do we make sponge candy, but we're kind of a traditional company. We do lots of assortment. We do creams and caramels. The one that gets me are the chocolate-covered pretzels, and our sea salt caramels are to die for.
How about peanut butter chocolate-covered pretzels?
You said sea salt caramels?
Yeah. And here's a little secret.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate, it's actually good for you. So if you wanna go that route, absolutely try the dark chocolate. It's phenomenal.
Paulie, we have to stop this conversation because all of our mouths are watering. Yeah, I just looked it up. Dark chocolate, high in antioxidants. So I'm going to start pounding that immediately. I just want to be healthy.
Wait, are the buffalo bites? Those are healthy, right?
Yeah, of course
they are healthy. Oh yeah, we've got those. The other thing that's well known around here is we do an orange chocolate. It's got just a little bit of hint of orange in it, so that's quite delicious as well.
Jeez.
Okay.
Paulie, thank you for the time this morning. We are looking through the website. They also have chocolate shaped like buffalo wings, which is amazing.
Turkey minis.
This is turkey minis. This is incredible.
Well, hey, thanks for reaching out to us. You can find us online at Watson's Chocolates. And go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Okay, so Bills are hosting the Buccaneers. That was Polly Martin out there with Martin's Chocolates.
Watson's.
What did I say?
Martin's.
But her last name's Martin. Polly Martin, Watson's Chocolates.
My brain doesn't work.
Watson'sChocolates.com. That's where you want to go if you were looking for sponge candy because you're a massive Buffalo Bill fan.
Like chocolate covered pretzels might be tops for me.
Oh, that's high up in the list.
Dude, it's okay. So if
you ever had a peanut butter pretzel with chocolate wrapped
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Robed.
Yeah.
No, I have
In
not.
robes.
I have
It's
not have that.
amazing.
Yeah.
How about
he's
when they-
not kidding? They're
You know
great.
when like people make those like homemade turtles and they do like a pretzel, then they put a Rolo on top of
Yeah,
it.
man.
Okay, we have to stop. I'm literally I'm not going to be able to stand up.
All right, Nick Bosa.
well, actually, he stood at attention where he was. You know,
Did he though?
he's confident in his skims.
I don't think there was any attention at all.
Actually,
It was
no.
just
I think
it
that
was just all the attention was there.
yeah. That's just a plain old flaccid giant
What-
dong.
All right.
Okay, look. Here's the deal.
And I'll tell you, Bob Melvin would not be happy.
That's why I moved to the Bay Area.
That's the narrative.
Look, the deal is this. The deal is this. Halloween, the reason why we're talking candy is because Watson Chocolates is a Buffalo favorite out there. Bills hosting the Buccaneers. Neither of those teams feel like they're on this list, but there's a lot of teams searching for trade candidates. There's a lot of players out there that could be traded. And Halloween is trade deadline day in the NFL.
Spooky season, baby.
Okay. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. I could see both of those guys being traded away by the Denver Broncos.
What? But
Absolutely.
they're so good.
So the 4 teams that have really been popping up like crazy, and Albert Breer's like the Fox Sports Radio NFL insider. He was on with 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe this morning. He mentioned the Broncos and those 2 pieces, as well as a couple pieces on the defensive side of the football. Surtain, is that his name?
Yep,
Patrick Surtain.
Possible
The third.
movement. Also the Commanders, Chase Young
Chase
could
Young.
be on the move. That was from Albert Breer this morning. And then the Vikings are going to sell everybody, making this a full rebuild year. If they get the right offer for Kirk Cousins, they'll consider it, but most likely Kirk is staying. Everyone else is leaving.
Which I gotta tell you does shock me, just in the sense that last week, all of a sudden, the Vikings look like they could have a team.
So that's what Jonas Knox said, right back to Albert. And Albert was like, yeah, but the GM, I can't remember his name. Do you know his name?
Blanking
It's
on
kind of
it.
a tough one to say.
Yeah.
But he said the GM had this plan at the beginning of the year and that he's not going to move from it because this was always supposed to be a rebuild year for the Vikings.
Adolfo Mensa.
That's what it is.
Kwesi Adolfo Mensa.
So he wants to stick to that plan, even if last year might have just been a flash, or last week might have been a flash in the pan.
Well, look, I mean, if you're smart and you're trusting Kevin O'Connell, then you're going to want to try to get as much trade compensation as possible and build with this head coach.
And right now you got pieces to do so.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, some other names, Derrick Henry. Some people think he's a fit for the Eagles or the Cowboys, potentially leaving Tennessee. Marquise Hollywood Brown with the Cardinals really never panned out in
Dude's been
Arizona.
traded twice already.
Chiefs, Chargers, Jets on the list as potential suitors for Marquise Brown. Chargers, I mean, Mike Williams went down, and it definitely feels like the passing game has seen a suppression.
Well, and Johnson's been like a disappointment for them, unfortunately. People calling him a first round or a second round bust.
Quentin Johnston, yeah, out of TCU, unfortunately, and he was their first rounder. Yeah.
And he's all the talent in the world. He just hasn't figured it out with Herbert.
Man,
Yeah.
Broncos make this list so many times.
Yeah.
Garrett Bowles, offensive tackle. Potentially the Rams looking to improve their offensive
Do you
line.
think Sean Payton's like, can you just trade me?
He's just making calls, see if he could swap teams
He's like-
entirely.
He's like, hey, I know you guys just hired Bob Melvin, but does he need like an assistant manager or something?
Caleb's going to be very upset if Bowles goes. Caleb bought a authentic Bowles jersey.
Dude, yeah, he's a monster. Like
Yeah.
if you watch Garrett Bowles, he's one of the better offensive linemen in the league. He's just all he's done is lose since he's been in.
By the way,
That's correct.
props to Caleb for buying an offensive lineman jersey.
Yeah, dude, I
Not
knew
too-
it.
There's not too many people out there buying Ornberger jerseys.
No, trust me.
Well,
I
we
know
all- we-
those checks were pretty light.
You know what? I think I may buy one.
Oh,
I think I'm going to buy one.
I might have one for you.
Try to find one for sale.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
I
well,
want to see how much Rich Ornberger jerseys are going for these days.
that's coming up next. Look, we were just talking with Watson's Chocolates, okay? And that was my problem here before we started SDFatLoss.com. I was kind of a sugar junkie
Yeah, same.
and a snacker. So look, I get it. I get a box of chocolates and I should try one. Well, that was pretty good. Oh, it turns out I ate the whole box. It happened.
Snacker Dale. That's what we used to call
Snacker
him.
Dale. That's everybody called me that. Everybody knows that. Look, I needed help, man. I needed someone to show me the right way to do it. And I think we all did because we tried to do it on our own and it didn't quite work out. The coaches and the staff over at sdfatloss.com, they jumped in, they swooped into the rescue and said, look, you got to follow this plan. And it's easy to do. Here's an app for your phone. Here's some coaches that will walk you through each step of your day. We're going to hold you accountable. It's fun to do as a group. And that's why we want you to do it with us. Go to sdfatloss.com and schedule your free consultation today. It is fantastic. In 6 weeks' time, I am pushing 30 pounds. That's almost an inch. That is almost an inch. I'm at 7/8.
Yeah, dude, which honestly, let's call it an inch.
Okay, all right. You know what? I like that.
You always round up. Just ask Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to.
Measure
I
from
don't
the
think he
balls.
needs to do that. Yes. The folks at sdfatloss.com love that. sdfatloss.com. Schedule your free consultation today if I didn't say that already. There's no exercise required. There's no counting points. There's no counting calories. There's no injections. You don't have to do any of that stuff. All you have to do is eat real food that you actually enjoy, and they'll hold your hand along the way to make sure you do it properly. Start this journey today with us. We'll do it together. sdfatloss.com. An inch. Yeah.
Okay. Coming up next, 7 celebrities that have admitted something that nobody on the planet ever should. We'll discuss. We'll dive deep down into this one coming up next. Keith? Okay. Yeah. Coming up next, celebrities that bang ghosts. Billy Joel and Sting. They're playing at Petco Park April 13th. That's coming up in 2024. Those tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. You better scoop them up quick. These are going ultra fast. We are going to play a mashup on this show here very, very shortly. Joel, Sting, mashup. Be listening for it. Call 844-570-1360 with the code word from yesterday, and you can win if you're caller number 6 today.
These are going to go super fast because actually, if you go to Ticketmaster.com or LiveNation.com, you can sign up there. The pre-sale begins tonight at 10 p.m. That pre-sale will stay on sale until tomorrow at 9:59 a.m., and then they go on sale to the general public. So they will go. It'll be sold out tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to sell every single ticket in this house. Did you guys know, and I don't know if this is true for Billy Joel or Sting for that matter, but many singers, songwriters, actors, entertainers have been banged by ghosts. Yeah. So the New York Post.
Is this a Travis thing?
This is okay. So this is what happens.
What?
No. This is what happens. We say to Travis, like, "Hey, man, we're gonna hammer NFL and Bob Melvin today." He goes, "Yeah, but did you see this story about the top 8 celebrities who admitted to having sex with ghosts?" And you know what? It's like, okay, I'll bite. Who is it? It's clickbait. Travis, it's clickbait Travis.
Well,
clickbait Dale. CBD.
I have a problem.
Clickbait Dale.
Okay, Anna Nicole Smith, we heard about her little story, right?
I don't know who that is.
Oh my gosh, you never heard of Anna Nicole Smith? Okay, Playboy Bunny married a guy who was like 88 years old. He was a oil tycoon, and he was going to kick the bucket soon. And everybody saw right through this whole plot. Like, obviously, she wanted to inherit his fortune.
She was a Playboy model before I was born.
Yeah,
but she's like iconic. She's kind of like she's like
Marilyn
the
Monroe.
90s Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
She has a Netflix show coming out.
Well, if it's coming out, it's gonna be very dark.
Posthumous.
Yeah. Right. She is not living.
Apparently, Kesha, who's the star singer. You remember Tick Tock on the Clock? She claims she went to the Bone Zone with a ghost. During a 2012 appearance on Conan. She's like, I don't know his name, but he was in my house.
Anna Nicole, by the way, said that when she hooked up with the ghost, it was the kinkiest she's ever had.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know, kinky ghost out there. Bobby Brown,
you guys started to feel left out? Like, why has the ghost never tried to get it on with you?
Not till now.
Do you guys have you ever been visit? Oh, Lucy Liu.
Yeah, Lucy Liu.
I went through a Lucy Liu phase.
I bet you did.
When she was in the movie Charlie's Angels, where Bill Murray played Charlie.
She was your thing.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, she was. I mean,
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore,
yeah.
The three of them, but Lucy Liu. When the promos came out for that movie, I was like, my goodness. Want me some Lou.
That's why you married Annie. Looks just like her.
Yeah, exactly. Dead ringer to Lucy Liu.
And Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd, who wrote.
I also went through an Aykroyd phase.
I'm still in it.
Travis is Dan Aykroyd.
Well, I wish I was Dan Aykroyd. I ran into Dan Aykroyd at a Stater Brothers in Temecula.
Oh, so Dan Aykroyd really into paranormal stuff. So apparently he's also banged a ghost. He
was in a movie called Ghostbusters.
He wrote the movie.
Him Co-wrote. And what's that?
Ramis.
Harold Ramis. He has Crystal Head vodka, which is based off of paranormal stuff.
Yes.
Which, by the way, Crystal Head vodka, pretty good vodka.
I bought a bottle of it and then didn't open it up because he signed it.
So Dan Aykroyd makes Crystal Head vodka. I know for a fact that Tony Khan just sells it a keg and bottle. We need to have Dan Aykroyd in studio. That's that needs to happen. Believes in aliens. If you ever listen to this guy talk, he has like this incredible depth of knowledge about the paranormal. So it does not shock me that he got it on with a ghost. Okay, listen, I want to talk to everybody about my feet. Okay, no easy segues in this business. But my feet are very important to me. They should be very important to you. Not my feet, but your own feet. I don't know why my feet would be important to you. But get out to the Good Feet store if you have foot pain, if you have ankle pain, if you have knee pain, if you have back pain, even if you have neck pain. This is an oddity, but apparently changing the way you walk can actually improve your posture so much that if you're having neck pain, it can improve that too. So at the Good Feet store, what they do is they measure you, they balance test you, they give you a little try before you buy experience with these arch supports. And all you have to do is just keep them in your shoes, your favorite walkers, whatever shoes, your work boots, whatever you wear throughout the day, and you wear them and they improve how you feel. My knee pain in my right knee, especially because I had torn my MCL a couple of times in that knee, has virtually vanished. I feel zero pain in that knee. My back pain, I'm telling you, 90% of the days now, I wake up without back pain. It used to be like 50% of the days. It was a 50-50 proposition. So if you're like me and you're struggling with joint pain, go to goodfeet.com, schedule your appointment today. They have tons of locations, 200 plus around the country and overseas. Also 30 years of experience, 30 years plus that they've been doing this. So get to a Good Feet store today. Okay, coming up next, the Padres move on from Bomel. Who are they targeting next? Also, we got Thursday Night Football to break down, and we will on the other side. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Thursday.
Hour 3, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by DraftKings. Starting off here in the NFL, Week 8 kicks off tonight. Tampa Bay taking on Buffalo in Buffalo. Bills favored by 9.5 heading into the game. In baseball, Bob Melvin spoke to the Bay Area media yesterday in his introductory press conference as the Giants' new manager. He talked a lot about a narrative that was going on here in San Diego after reports of he and AJ Preller's relationship not being good. In the NBA, almost everyone was in action last night. First overall pick, Victor Wembanyama made his regular season debut for the Spurs in a 126-119 loss to the Dallas Mavericks. Wemby, 15 points in 23 minutes of game time. And with the trade deadline rapidly approaching in the NFL, we are hearing reports from around the league that the Broncos, Titans, Commanders, and Vikings will most likely be the biggest sellers come October 31st. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Yeah! Woo!
It's almost Friday.
Guys, we're 24 hours away
From Bar Cart
Bar Cart Friday.
Yeah, Bar Cart Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Brought to you by Keg and Bottle 10 locations all throughout San Diego County.
Dude, we made it again. I can't believe how fast this week went. Actually, it's really weird when an 8-year-old says that to you. Like yesterday.
How fast the week went, or
Yeah.
he's ready for Bar Cart Friday.
It was Bar Cart Friday. No, he goes, Dad, he's like, this week has really gone by quick. And it was yesterday. I'm just like, well, how old are you?
Shut up.
Yeah. I remember being 8 and just being like, this sucks. Life takes too long.
Dude,
Like,
I hate that everyone, what they've told me my entire life is true. Like the older you get, the faster it goes.
Yeah.
But I've really started feeling it ever since like the day I got married. It's been a blur.
Once you have kids, I'm telling you, it's like you hit
I mean, I have a dog, so I get it.
the fast forward button. Dogs too, sure.
Except for the nights that you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, those nights you're
Those
like,
rough.
oh God, when does this end?
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, it's great, Fletch. You'll
So-
love You'll love
not
it.
to add fuel to TD's fire if Kendall's already pregnant because she's not, but we were talking about it the other day, like
Mhm.
schedules and everything once we have a baby. And she's like,
You're talking about ovulation
Yeah,
schedules?
right, yes, okay.
no, like
When the
literally,
eggs are dropping, it's time to start popping off.
literally like times of
Sorry.
when I'm at work and when she's at work and how we're going to make it work with the
God.
Dude, do not have her over here to make babies.
Wait,
Is that what you're
is that what
talking
you're
about?
bringing up right
No,
now?
like
Sick
when
puppy?
we
What is
have an
going on?
actual child,
Oh, got it.
what we're going to do with the thing. And she's like, it's okay.
Well, I'd hopefully keep it alive.
Leave it with Brock.
She
Yeah.
said, you sleep all night and I'll take care of the kid. And then when I'm at work, you can take a nap during the day. And I was like, then who's taking care of the kid? I'm like, neither of us are going to sleep, period. This is
Listen,
a bad idea.
He's like,
Listen.
no, we'll put food in the bowl and a water dish next to it,
Yeah,
and it'll be fine.
Put newspaper down.
By the
It'll be
way,
fine.
everything, and this isn't your fault, it's not Kendall's fault, but everything you think, everything you say,
Yep.
everything you're doing right now
Yep.
in relation to one day rearing children is all wrong.
Yep.
You have no idea what you're talking about. You're making great plans, and I promise you it's smart to be thinking ahead, but none of it's going to matter.
That is correct.
because you are handed legitimately a ticking bomb when they give you your first child and they go, okay, now listen, it is going to go off a lot, but we're going to give you no training. Good luck.
That is 1,000,000% accurate.
Good
And
thing
yes.
we're years away.
Oh
Yeah.
man, well,
now
years away.
possibly 8.5 months.
we're saying congrats today.
That's right.
Because
That's
we
right.
know,
Yep.
because we have cameras at the Fletcher household, and me and Travis check on them all the time.
You guys see what I did last night?
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
going to caution you, you should stretch first.
Right. That is correct.
Is
You're
that
not
why you
Nick
brought up the
Bosa.
belly button
You are
thing
not
today?
Nick Bosa. Yep. That was the wrong spot. That will not work if you're trying to have a baby.
So Bob
Fletch.
Melvin is the manager of the San Francisco Giants.
He's got a belly button.
By the way, as before we get to Bob Melvin,
Yeah.
keep it locked in here because at any moment you could hear that Billy Joel Sting
hits,
mashup.
hits,
So keep it locked in. If you want to win Billy Joel Sting tickets, April 13th at Petco Park, you want to buy tickets, livenation.com. Otherwise, you got to be caller number 6 with the code word after you hear the mashup.
Also, best way to support this show before we talk Bob Melvin is listening on the iHeartRadio app. We encourage you, if you don't have it, download it, and when you download it, listen there, and then share the link with friends. It's if you enjoy this nonsense, get more people on board. We appreciate it.
And shout out to Alicia, who sent us a message last night. Very, very kind words. We love that you're laughing. Trust us, we're laughing along with you.
What'd
and
she say?
She said that she can't wait for Fletch to have a new baby with Kindle.
Yeah.
She said that great show today. Actually, all this week. These are all classics. Thank you for being so entertaining. My boyfriend and I have never laughed this hard.
Alicia, we love you.
Yeah, we do.
If this is the boyfriend that poops with the door open or poops with the clothes on,
You
I'm
think
sorry.
it is?
I hope you've broken up with him by
Wait,
now.
no. With door open. I don't
Was the
think he
door
poops with his
open?
clothes
No,
on.
no.
Wait, do you get completely undressed?
Hang on. We will get to Bob Melvin, but we do need to address this. So there was a couple that texted us on a Therapy Thursday.
They started Therapy Thursday.
They did.
By the way,
because-
today's Therapy Thursday.
Yeah, if you have a
God.
problem that you need resolving, you can text us 70470, start your message with team, and we will fix your problems because we are all trained therapists.
Mhm.
We learned this months ago when a young lady was texting us about her relationship. Her man apparently poops with the door open. So we're like, I mean, we all had varying variety of opinions, but I think in order to sustain romance in a relationship, everybody should close the door when they poop.
I feel
Correct.
differently.
Then
That's a little weird.
she returns fire and says, well, I do it too, which to me is like unconscionable. If I'm telling you right now.
Wait, should we call Kindle and ask if she's cool with Fletch leaving the door open?
Oh, her answer is going to ultimately be no.
Right.
Yeah, she'll surprise you.
There is no way. There is no. I mean, unless
Call
she's
her.
into. Look out,
Call her.
she might be into
She's
some
in
freaky
school.
stuff.
It's fine. Sarah just texted me mid-segment. I thought there was a problem.
Yeah. You can call her.
Sarah's like admin, dude. She's a boss. Kendall's like in the war fields right now with first graders.
And well, maybe that's
true.
why she's used to it because with first graders, a lot of open door pooping going on. So maybe she just looks at you as one of the
I don't
pupils.
open door poop.
Okay. In first
But I
grade,
would.
I
Wait,
still
so
I can remember
it's just
back.
all a big lie.
No, I mean I would. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, but whoa, hang on.
Ever since we got Brock the dog, I kind of have to because he just follows me everywhere.
Here's my question though. Like, so have you or have you never? Because I'm not. Don't be shticky, Ben. I don't want to hear.
I absolutely have pooped in front of my wife. Yes.
Wow. I've never in my life.
What in the world, man?
Not once.
Hmm.
Not once.
That's impressive.
I never have with the door wide open. Door's cracked and we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If
Yeah.
I
that's
don't
what we're
like
ta-
talking though.
Yeah, neither do I.
No,
And
I'm
she-
focused
by-
on the task at
By
hand.
the way, she always wants to talk to me when she knows where I'm going. I'm like, all right, head into the restroom, which I'm almost announcing to be like,
See you in a half hour.
yeah, like I'm gonna need my space. I like you, but not right now. Like I don't like anybody right now. I like my phone. I'm gonna update myself on the news.
Fantasy football time.
Dude, absolutely. I
Yeah,
set
you
my
gotta
lineup.
set the lineup.
Okay. And as soon as I get comfortable, like, hey, this weekend, I just wanted to remind you, like, no, not now. And frankly, not ever. When the door's closed, I mean, it's just every time.
Okay, 913 remembers the conversation that texter had with us. It was wearing the coat or baggy clothing because it acts like a chimney for the smell to go up
Oh,
to the
yeah, the
clothing.
poop
So
chimney,
she was
yeah.
saying that he smells like poop because he wears coats while he's pooping.
Wow, wait, that was part of this? I don't
Yeah,
remember
it was.
that
I
at
do
all.
remember this. You know what? Because
Apparently,
we
I
said,
blocked that out. I mean, I don't think you ever want a poop chimney.
yeah,
I don't know
no.
how I fell on that. It had to have been no.
Yeah, that's a no. That's a strong no. If you're wearing a starter jacket and you're growling one out, you are a psychopath. You are a certifiable psychopath. You're wearing a parka.
Okay,
while
so
you're pooping?
Bob Melvin.
I think I still have an Oilers starter jacket.
Oh God.
Dude. Bob Melvin is now the Giants manager. Like how
That makes me feel
Okay.
like poop.
we're living in the upside down.
It's good God. Padres are the poop chimney.
Make the t-shirt now.
Poop. It's the shape of California. It's just a
Yep.
chimney smoking out up there in San Francisco.
So what's crazy about this whole situation is everybody seems to be mad at Bob Melvin, and B, everybody seems to be mad at Bob Melvin.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a big portion online of Padre fans who are pissed at Bob Melvin after the words he said yesterday at the press conference. But I think that was because he was kind of taking ownership over the fact that he's leaving. I don't blame Bob for leaving. I blame Bob and AJ for what happened last year. I'm still hung up on the fact that they're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, let's play the sound because I think, again, let it marinate over you. Like, try not to be reactionary. Like,
Let it be a chimney.
like as if you're a long smokestack above a burning furnace, a cauldron of just effluence.
Hot coals.
All right, here we go. Bob Melvin
Here's
yesterday
Bob
talking about his decision to go to the Giants after being with the Padres.
Look, I really don't want to get too much into the San Diego situation other than the fact that I really enjoyed my time there. Some things transpired last year in a difficult year for the team with high expectations. I think there was a narrative at the end that probably wasn't going to go away with me being on my last year of my contract. And I think as far as that organization goes, it's probably not fair if that narrative continued through, next year. So all things considered, this opportunity came about, and for all the reasons I stated, this feels like the right one for me. But I very much enjoyed my time in San Diego. It just seems like with a lot of things that were popping up there, it just was time to move on.
Yeah, look, Bob Melvin is a Bay Area kid who went to high school in the Bay Area, wanted to be a manager for the Giants. It shouldn't be shocking to anybody. Like sports teams, don't get me wrong, Fernando Tatis Jr. is our guy, but if he's picking between the Dominican Republic and San Diego, it's the DR every time. If he's picking between the Dominican Republic and the United States, it's the Dominican Republic. That's home. I'm sorry for anybody who feels some sort of way about Bob Melvin being honest about his feelings about the Bay Area and being the Giants manager. But can you imagine growing up and being a baseball junkie like he was, playing his entire life, wishing to be a Giants as he's listening to broadcasts on the radio, and then getting to play out a professional career and then getting an opportunity to manage there? You know how many of his lifelong friends are like, Bob, you did it.
And that's kind of what AJ was saying over and over again in his presser yesterday, was that the Giants would have been the only job that Bob would have left for. Now, that could be lip service. I think that's probably pretty true.
I don't know what you expect Bob Melvin to say or do. I don't. I'm being mad at Bob Melvin does not resonate with me. I feel if there's any anger, it's probably towards AJ Preller, just because that's where my gut tells me that's where this thing fell apart. And
got a great gut.
And I look, if you're working at a job that your boss just absolutely sucks, and then another job opens up, another opportunity where you go, you know what, I can go there. That's gonna help out the Padres because there's not going to be animosity down here. There's not going to be questions about losses between or the question between the front office, because I won't be there. I won't be a part of it. It's going to be a sad breakup there. I know that there will be people who'll be upset, but ultimately it's better for me. It's probably better for the team. I'll part ways.
So the underlying thing in all of this is Bob Melvin and AJ Preller's relationship here clearly was not a good one. Bob Melvin and Farhan Zaidi, the general manager of the San Francisco Giants, have a relationship from the past. Farhan started off with the A's. Bob Melvin was with the A's for years, like almost a decade. So maybe it's a fact of looking at one boss and saying, we don't get along well, looking at the other boss and saying, we do, I'm going there.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not true that just because a boss is a bad boss for you doesn't mean that he can't be a great boss for somebody else. There's plenty of times, and
he's 0 for 3.
People know this. where you're working at an office and you hate somebody that somebody else likes. They're like, oh, I don't have any problem with that person.
Travis Dale.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
He is an acquired taste. And a lot of people around this building have talked about how they have not yet acquired that taste.
Very bitter. Very, very bitter.
But you know, it is a thing, right? Sometimes oil and water, it just will never mix. And maybe that was a situation with Bob and AJ. I'm wishing the best for Bob, except for when the Padres play against the Giants, except for when the Giants and the Padres are vying for wild card positions, except for if they face each other in the postseason one day. I'm rooting for Bob. I think he's a great guy. Did not work out here. The problem I have is with AJ Preller, because guess what? It's been a decade of this. He's gone through 5 friggin' managers, and we've only had 2 winning seasons. And guess what? The 2 winning seasons have been with the guy who you just allow walk to the Giants.
And a COVID year, but we don't really count that.
We don't count.
And all we need is the Diamondbacks now for the NL West to be full of Padres former managers. D-backs not making a change anytime soon. They're in the World Series. The Diamondbacks are in the World Series.
She's been living if I ever lose my faith. Didn't start the fire. Started up a brand new day. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us nothing for the longest time.
Wow, the lines have lit up for these tickets.
It's kind of fun because we're on a 10-second delay. So it's like you start the sounder, 10 seconds into the sounder, boom.
It's crazy because as you cleared the lines out, some of them just snuck in the back door there.
Yep, just like old Bobby. All right. Let's do. Well, actually, you have to answer some phone calls really quick.
Caller number 6 with the keyword.
Okay. So, last thought on Bob Melvin before we hit halftime, and then we talk a little Thursday Night Football, because we have a pretty sneaky good matchup here between the Buffalo Bills. They'll be hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mayfield and Josh Allen in that same 2018 draft class. Obviously, Baker Mayfield was taken first overall. Josh Allen kind of taken as a sleeper pick in the first round. A lot of people thought he was overdrafted. A lot of people thought that he wasn't going to work out. I was one of them. I kind of said at the NFL level, this is Tim Tebow 2.0. This is a tight end masquerading as a quarterback. Boy, was I wrong. But there's been regression with Josh Allen this season and last season as well. So we'll see where this game puts us in terms of the AFC conversation. We'll get to that in a second. But last thought on Bob Melvin. Bob Melvin and the Padres, just because it didn't work out, 3 straight managers with the Padres, doesn't mean that the next one won't net the Padres their best success so far. That's the thing about me, is I like to evaluate things and get stuck in the minutia when it's of importance or value. And right now, you have an opportunity to get something really right for the Padres. So we're going to focus on some of the negatives to hopefully see more positive times.
Here's my hang up is if you brought him in to run the show and bring a team to greatness, if you didn't trust a Bomel to do it, and AJ Preller and the iPad and all the powers that be were the ones who were actually making the decisions, what does it matter who you bring in next? It's not going to make any difference if the same people are making the same decisions. We're going to have the same outcome.
It's going to have to be a frictionless, like truly right arm of the front office for it to work the way AJ Preller wants it to work. It's going to have to be somebody who has zero opinions of their own, but somehow commands respect in the clubhouse. That is a really, really tricky tightrope to walk.
So much baseball, so much football. I'm ready for some basketball. I don't know about you guys. The NBA was in full force last night. Most every team was playing. Victor Wembanyama, we got our first look at him. I did watch quite a bit of this game as the Spurs lose to the Dallas Mavericks 126-119. But everyone's talking about Victor today. How about we talk some Luka? The dude was incredible last night, becoming the 3rd player in NBA history with a 30-point triple-double in a season opener, joining Oscar Robertson, who did it twice, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, who did it just a couple years ago. Luka Doncic, by the way, when he grows up a little bit and he starts getting gray hair, he's going to look a lot like Rich Orenberger.
Oh,
Oh.
there is a little bit of like
very
that
attractive.
Pasty white boy.
Yeah, like Eastern Bloc, very Germanic features. Yeah, I
But
can see
everyone's
it.
talking about Victor Wembanyama today. He scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, 15 on the night, 5 boards. He had a really nice block on a 3-point shot. I didn't see anything all that special last night outside of he's really tall and he can make 3-pointers.
He's impressive.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's very flexible.
Well, and he lit up at the end, which didn't quite help him, but I thought he looked fine.
Popovich gave him a lot of credit in post game, talking about how this is his first NBA game ever, and he really stepped up to the task. But we'll see. Victor Wembanyama is going to have a fantastic career. I get worried about how fragile he looks. He doesn't really have an injury history, but he's so
flexible,
wiry. And trade deadline is days away in the NFL. Hearing from reports from Albert Breer and others around the NFL that Titans, Commanders, Vikings, Broncos are going to be the biggest sellers at the deadline.
Good.
I'm going to give you guys some stats here ahead of Thursday Night Football. So a couple things good, couple things bad in terms of the Buccaneers. And they're facing the Bills tonight, who need a big win, it feels like.
Also, you can stop calling. Scott won the tickets.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Well,
congrats to Scott.
Well, maybe they just want to keep calling until tomorrow when we have another pair to give away. Our last pair, that's it, tomorrow.
That's it.
Ooh.
So the Buccaneers defense might be among the league leaders in takeaways with 13 and fewest touchdowns given away with 10 and points allowed. They're only averaging 17.3 against per game. But the unit has been terrible on third down. They're giving up 50% of the third downs. And in their end of game situations, it's been pretty abysmal. Tampa Bay tied the game with 45 seconds remaining last week when the defense allowed a 39-yard pass reception, helping the Atlanta Falcons beat them on a 51-yard field goal as time expired. Oof. So these are the sort of heartbreaking losses that giving up these third downs lead to with the Tampa Bay Bucks. And they've played in a lot of close games because the offense hasn't been all that great. But this is a very solid bend but don't break defense. Does it give the Bills trouble?
I would say yes. However, I do think the Bills are just in the perfect position for a big bounce back game. I think everything is lining up for the doubters who have been out there all week long talking about how embarrassing that loss was to the New England Patriots, who have been dog all year. And then you get to this, and this just feels like the perfect NFL pendulum swing where all of a sudden it's going to go all the way the other way. And the Bills are just going to have their best game of the season. They're going to light up the scoreboard tonight. Stephon Diggs is going to have like 150 receiving yards. Josh Allen will have a 3 touchdown through the air, 1 touchdown on the ground type of night. If I was betting on this game tonight, which I'm going to stay away from because it's a big spread, I would be hammering the Bills.
It feels to me like the Bills are also, I'm with you, Fletch, that they're ripe for a get-right game here. This feels a lot like the Ravens of last week when the Ravens were getting counted out and all of a sudden they went, you want to bet? That for whatever reason, that's just what my gut's telling me here with the Bills and Josh Allen. I think there's going to be a show put on by the Bills.
I can tell by old Big Richie's face over here. He doesn't agree.
Yeah, I'm leaning.
You like the Bucks?
I'm in terms of, I don't think they're going to win, but in terms of the point spread,
no, but you like them as a team overall.
I do. I think they have a good defense, and I think that it's an underwhelming. It's an underwhelming phase of the game to hang your hat on early in the season because nobody cares about defense early in the season, but it's Halloween time. Like, we're getting to cold weather football. This is Western New York. Like, I think the Bucks are going to have a pretty good, this might be one of those pitchers duels, like scoreless through the first, maybe 3 points, maybe 10 points by halftime. I'm talking both teams. Like, so what, I don't know what the point total is. I'm guessing it's low. I would probably lean the under there as well. And if you're going to lean the under, you're probably leaning the way of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the point spread. Like I said, I don't love this spread either way, betting the Bucks or betting the Bills, because I could see the argument you just made, the Bills kind of getting the albatross off their shoulder and playing better football. But I like the Bucks defense. I like the Bills defense. Look, the Buccaneers can't run the football. They're averaging under 78 yards a game on the ground. They were dead last in the NFL last year, so they fixed nothing. And then they've regressed at quarterback. Tom Brady's a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. So if you're gonna have,
you don't say.
If you're gonna have no run game,
I didn't recognize the first name.
Tim Brody? What?
Tim Brody was pretty good.
By the way, Erie County, which is where the Buffalo Bills play, 67 degrees right now. It's going to be like 72 at kickoff.
What?
I know. So next week,
San Diego, East Coast.
I know. Next week they got weather's in the 30s and snow, but Thursday night football, and even this Sunday, it's going to be 48 and raining. But
Wow.
tonight, for whatever reason, it's a beautiful night. It looks like.
Well, if I'm the Bills, this is what I do. I lean into their weakness being a weakness, and I put the game 100% in Baker Mayfield's hand. I'm going to stuff the run. They're already suck at it, so I'm going to stuff the run. I'm not going to let them have any daylight in the run game. And I'm going to say, if you guys beat us and it's because Baker Mayfield outduels Josh Allen, well, then you deserve to win on Thursday Night Football.
So you think they need to stuff the run? I'll tell you what, about 2 months ago now, I was stuffing this shirt. In fact, I wouldn't even wear it because I couldn't fit in it.
Because those buttons were pulling apart.
But now, here, guys, I'm going to stand up and do a little twirl. I want you to look.
Hang on.
Okay. Do a little twirl.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah,
Actually,
wow.
I'll tell you what, you need to buy a belt. Your pants are sagging.
Yeah, you look like Christina Aguilera, 2001.
Yeah, that's right. We could see just the hint of a booty crack.
Your
Which I'll tell
thong
you
is
what,
Don't act
poking
like
out.
you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Back in 2001, that really got me going. Today, not as much.
Yeah.
Well, I got a lot of hair back there, so that's
Right.
the problem.
Right.
But SDFatLoss.com is why my pants no longer fit and why this shirt does now fit. SDFatLoss.com. Wayne and Chloe over there. I scheduled a free consultation. I got on the phone with Chloe. We figured out what was right for me to move forward with this. And I've been sticking to it, man. And I've been dropping weight like crazy. In fact, tomorrow I expect to be in the 220s. I thought it was going to be this morning, but I stuck around like 230.1. So 220s tomorrow for me. It's higher than any expectations I had for myself. SDFatLoss.com. Get your free consultation with Chloe or call 858-665-3211. Apparently, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch listeners have been lighting up the phone lines over there.
Yeah.
Continue to do so. Not only does that help us, it helps you. And the only thing you got to lose is a little bit of weight. It's a free consultation with Miss Chloe. And it changed my life for the better. It can do the same thing for you. So give them a call, 858-665-3211. TD, what are you at now?
I am down just about 30 pounds. I mean, like 28.7.
And you tell
Pushing.
me, because the experience I've had is I look forward to stepping on the scale every morning, which has never been the case in my life.
No, because how many diets have you done where you get on the scale and the scale doesn't move?
Every diet I've ever done.
Right.
We tried to lose weight on our own. We had a little success and then a lot of failure. With SDFatLoss.com, we are having success after success after success, and they can do the exact same thing for you. So give them a call, 858-665-3211, or go to SDFatLoss.com.
Yeah, some injuries around the NFL going to cause a bit of a shakeup this weekend, question mark. Will the Bengals prevail over the Niners? We'll talk about it next.
Talk Purdy to me.
What happens to the Niners if they lose 3 in a row? We'll break it down next.
This update is presented by DraftKings. Starting off in the NFL, Week 8 kicks off tonight. Tampa taking on Buffalo in Buffalo. The Bills are favored by 9.5 heading into the game. In baseball, Bob Melvin spoke to the Bay Area media yesterday in his introductory press conference as the Giants manager. Bo Mel talked a lot about the narrative that was going on the last couple months of the season, and that being a driving reason for him to leave and take the Giants' job. In the NBA, almost everyone was in action last night. First overall pick, Victor Wembanyama, made his regular season debut for the Spurs in a 126-119 loss to the Mavericks. Wemby, 15 points in 23 minutes. And with the trade deadline rapidly approaching in the NFL, just 5 days away, we're hearing reports from around the NFL that Titans, Commanders, Vikings, and Broncos will be the biggest sellers. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Big Rich, Sheedy, and Fletch at San Diego Sports 760. Happy Thursday. And we have chances for you to win $1,000 every single day. Just listen for the keyword, then enter that keyword at sportsSD.com. Presented by Loan Pronto. Stop paying insane rates on your credit cards. Loan Pronto can help you tap the equity in your home so you can be credit card debt-free in less than a week. LoanPronto.com. LoanPronto.com. Rich, Fletch's Niners are about to lose 3 in a row.
Yeah, it looks like it's a
shut the hell up.
possibility.
Well, yeah.
Oh, wait,
Look, it's what?
Wait,
I mean,
do you
the
have
Bengals-
Pendulous
are
nature
hot.
of the NFL. Pendulous nature. Do you know what that means, TD?
Win 5, lose 3.
Yeah, makes sense. That's a pendulum. That's a hell of a swing.
Win 5, lose 5.
Is Trent Williams back this week? I haven't actually looked.
I don't know if he's even practicing this week.
He doesn't usually practice in the regular season anyways.
That's also
So-
true.
So
I don't think he needs to anymore.
Okay.
Was it Tuesday?
Yesterday, Williams missed practice. McCaffrey was a full participant.
Thank God. Was it Tuesday that we said he was concussed? Did they play Monday night?
They played Monday night.
Okay, yeah.
Tuesday morning, I said on that, the first interception he threw in the fourth quarter, he just so didn't look like Brock Purdy, and he missed by like 15 yards.
The only explanation that he could have thrown an interception was that he had a concussion.
No, the reason I said that is because the play before, or maybe 3 plays before, because that was a third down, he back-to-back quarterback snuck trying to do like the Philly tush push, and on the second one he got a full head of steam from one of the Vikings defenders and his head went in a weird direction. So I said I thought maybe he was shaken up and concussed on that play, and then 2 plays later he throws the pick.
Well, you were 100% right, because he's in protocol now, and I think it is like 1,000% attributable to that play. I think the tush push is going to be outlawed, and I don't think it's because it's particularly dangerous. I really don't. I don't think it's all that dangerous of a football
Not
play
for the Eagles.
Well, but because like we've allowed QB sneaks for years and years. The only difference is somebody's giving you a little boost from behind. Like this is all very stupid. But they're going to use Brock Purdy's injury as an example. Yeah. They're going to find other injuries.
Well, I think also from that game, they're going to use Fred Warner's defense of it, because the Vikings tried it too, and you saw Fred Warner jump over the line, and that looked like a dangerous play.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Banning the tush push is lame.
I'm going to tell you why they're going to do it. I'm going to tell you why they're going to do it, because it has nothing to do with player safety. It's going to be all these other 31 owners looking at what Philly's done and being so successful with it. The brotherly shove, as they call it, and they're going to be like, I mean, just from a competitive advantage standpoint,
we can't do it.
We can't do it, so we don't want them to be able to do it.
That is lame. That is, I'm taking my ball and going home, because give me a freaking break. If you want to do it, then go get yourself a quarterback that can bench 600 pounds.
There's only one of those in like NFL history. And his name's Jalen Hurts. Can I play the sound from Tuesday? Because I want you to listen to Travis totally discounting me.
Wait.
I need some vindication.
Hang on a second. You're going to play the sound of you telling us that Brock Purdy was concussed.
It's not because of what I'm saying. It's because of how Travis is talking to me. It's so disrespectful.
But
he even did it today after I've been proven right.
Where is the sound of you telling us that Terrell Owens couldn't suit up for a Super Bowl because he had migraines? There was another one yesterday.
Oh, that was the backdoor.
That was backdoor.
Instead of
backdoor Bob.
Instead of back channel Bob.
That one's understanding. I mean, I watch a lot of Big Brother, and they like backdoor people all the time.
So everybody knows around the Padres organization, they call him Backdoor Bob.
See, you guys are making fun of me. I'm just trying to bring valuable insight into the show, and I misspoke. I'm sorry. Sue me.
And then Darren Smith immediately texted us and said,
Back channel Bob. Back channel Bob.
Yeah. It means the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know. But
anyway, okay, so forget my past indiscretions.
Okay.
And just, I want you to listen to this.
Yeah, it's okay.
And we're gonna please get mad at TD for how he's speaking to me.
Okay, go ahead.
You said Brock Purdy was concussed. That was the only way he would be throwing interceptions if his head was just not in the right space.
I don't know if I said that on air. I said that to you before the show, TD.
No, you said it on the air in the first segment.
I said there's a possibility he was, because there was 2 back-to-back quarterback sneaks, and one of them, his head got winked.
Yes.
Weird.
The question, though, is when do they cut him?
Oh, and I forgot about that part, Big Rich. I'm mad at you, too.
The question still stands. I stand by it. When do they release Brock Purdy and make room for more great quarterbacks like Sam Darnold?
Hit the breaking news sounder, because no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, I thought you were about to say Kirk Cousins has been traded to the 49ers, which would not surprise me.
You could hit the breaking news center, because I do have something big.
Yeah. Speaking of changes, we have to get to this. McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's again finds himself the focus of controversy as they're going to step away from the old McFlurry spoon.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Currently, the spoon is a square shape.
I effing hate this spoon.
Oh my God, me too.
Spoon?
You've never had a McFlurry?
Like
I have. I don't think it's a spoon.
The handle of the spoon is square.
Okay.
Because it's also the stirring mechanism.
Yep. They attach it to whatever the mixer is.
Yeah. Well, thank God they're getting away from that. How long has the McFlurry been out? Like 20 years?
As long as I can remember.
Right. And of those 20 years, only 10 years does it actually work.
That's a good point. The ice cream machine is always broken at McDonald's.
Very true. Well, they're ditching that squared shank of a spoon, and they're giving you just a regular Sunday spoon.
True story. First time I had a McFlurry. This is 100% true. I put the spoon's in the cup, comes in the cup.
And you tried to suck, didn't you?
I sat there, I kid you not, the entire ride. Do you know what happens when you suck on a spoon that you think is a straw for an entire car ride? I was in the car for 10 minutes. With all my might, I'm like, God, it's the thickest milkshake I've ever had. Like, what happens is
drink it up.
It makes your glands swell.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, I had inflamed
Hey, you're like a frog.
Dude, like inflamed salivary glands. I couldn't produce saliva for days.
Well, you're not alone, because that is one of the biggest complaints with the McFlurry spoon, is that people think it's a straw. The other complaint was it used far more plastic than just a regular spoon.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
913.
You know what? We have some turtles to save.
Our texter from the 913,
Not
who's one of our most valued listeners all the time.
Yes.
He's sad that once again he did not win the Billy Joel tickets. Sorry. Try again tomorrow.
Yeah, you got one more shot here, buddy.
But he's also
He's been trying for the longest time.
He's also trying to rig the competition for tomorrow.
Oh, is he trying to give a different code word? A
He's
secret
giving us
code
like
word?
10.
Only he knows the code word.
913, code word tomorrow, back channel. 913, code word tomorrow, sponge candy. Code word tomorrow, stepmom. Code word tomorrow, tush push. Code word tomorrow, Bronco Nagurski. Code word tomorrow, McFlurry spoon.
These are all viable options.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yesterday's code word happened by accident, you know, and we
also made the show better, so I stand by it.
Dude, I'm not saying that you don't contribute. You do, with your complete idiocy sometimes.
But how many times have I been proven right in the long run?
Hey,
You gotta do that mid-drink.
Are figs or are figs not an Italian thing?
They are.
Yeah.
Is Brock Purdy or is he not concussed?
But this is kind of like the broken clock. You know what I mean? Like,
That's right twice a day.
it's stuck at 9, but here in 15 minutes, it's going to be right. I love you so much. Don't ever change.
We don't know if there's a code word yet. We won't know
But
until
if it
tomorrow.
is, it's gonna be stepmom.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
By the way, Lauren, our stepmom Lauren, who does fantasy talk with us,
Our stepmom Lauren.
every single time.
Our fantasy stepmom.
Fantasy football stepmom Lauren
Mhm.
is what we should regard her as.
Right.
But she actually lets us call her stepmom.
Oh, and
She does.
She leans into it, man.
Yeah.
What's her website?
Stepmom Lauren.
Yeah, that sounds like an
.com.
OnlyFans account. Wait, so
She should go as sexy Mandalorian. She has half the costume.
Dude, yeah.
that's only half you need.
Yeah, that's a good point. You just need the helmet.
Right.
I mean, honestly, okay. Actually, we should get into this on the other side. Being a woman on Halloween is the coolest thing ever.
Yep. Yep.
Do you realize? Okay, I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna explain why. And you know what? We need to have that discussion. Somebody needs to have this discussion. And we're just the men for the job.
It's right.
And
Also,
3 overweight white guys.
Goldie Hawn apparently had an alien encounter.
Boy. Well, we have so much to get to coming up next. However, before we run, I want to talk to you all about the San Diego County Toyota dealers and the amazing deals they have going on. Get down to any of their lots around San Diego County, like I did a couple of years ago. Pick myself up a 4Runner. It's been the best driver for our family since we started buying cars. I've purchased now 4 cars. All of them have kind of sucked until I got into the 4Runner. That's not a lie.
Get a truck. Get a truck.
Our next purchase is going to be a truck. So
It has to be black, so all 3 of us match.
Oh, you have a black truck too. That's true. Okay, yeah.
4Runner is a truck.
Yeah.
It's on a truck chassis.
Yeah, it's on a truck chassis, and
It's not
that's
a pickup.
that. Well, I really like the Tundra.
Something women like about a pickup, man.
Yeah, they do.
Mhm.
Actually, Ann told me, because I took a picture of me in front of the Tundra when I bought the 4Runner. She's like, "That's the truck." I'm like, "Why?" She said, "Because you look hot next to
Have
it."
you ever ridden in the new Tundra?
No.
Dude, it is the roomiest truck. My cousin just bought one. It is the nicest truck and the roomiest truck I've ever seen.
I love how I'm reading an ad for Toyota, and I'm going to go and buy a Toyota right now.
You got to get the Tundra.
I'm gonna get the
That's what I want.
I love the I love the 4Runner. I drive the 4Runner. My in-laws drive the Prius. Actually, I have 2 up in LA. We're driving around all the time around West LA and those suckers. It's really become like the family car, or the family car brand Toyota. It's reliable. Like Ben says, it's roomy, and not just the Tundra. I mean, that's a big old pickup truck. We're talking about the Prius. I fit in it. I'm 6'3", 260 pounds now. You hear that? 260 pounds?
You look hot.
Thank you. It's starting to come down. Well, next to that Tundra, I do. Look, I don't know where I am right now. The point is, go to San Diego County Toyota. You got to pick up a Toyota today. Okay. And if you're interested in their Beyond Zero lineup of electrified vehicles, they've got an awesome group of cars there to take a look at. All right, listen, next, Stepmom Lauren, she told us about her Halloween costume. We need to dig into that. Goldie Hawn had an alien encounter. This is Sports Talk. Next. Touched by the finger of God is how one described it. That's next. I love working with Fletch and TD because the things that Fletch say and the thing that TD does, I'm surrounded by my people.
You want me to take my shirt off and square up right now, bro?
Is this She's
do
No
this.
Angel? Is this the Allman Brothers?
I don't know. It's a
She's no
bumpin'.
angel.
This song. All right, listen. Goldie Hawn. I don't even know where to start on this story.
All you need is the headline. An alien touched me, and it felt like the finger of God.
I have
don't
one
even-
question.
Where?
You moving on.
The end.
The reason why it is both of them so easy to be a lady on Halloween is because all you need to do is buy a mask and a bikini and then you're done.
You just put sexy in front of whatever.
Dude, that's my point.
Nurse,
like
doctor, cop.
Hey, it's
Judge.
2023. It's our year.
honestly, I actually do agree with that to a certain extent, and maybe we need to take that back. Sexy police officer.
Down.
Dude, all I have to do is wear a Speedo and wear a cop hat, a
badge.
mustache, and and a badge. Yeah, just glue the badge
And
to
like
my
a belt.
chest. Dude, the
or like
gun
a,
belt.
or like if you're a traffic cop, or when they dress up
White
and they just wear
gloves.
the white gloves.
I think traffic controller, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
But for years, it's been fishnet stockings, basically bikini bottoms. And,
This is our year.
and
Our
and
turn for
nurse
fishnets.
outfit or Mandalorian helmets. Or I mean, it doesn't matter.
All right, who wants to see it? Big Rich, TD, and Fletch do Halloween sexy
Wow.
style.
Oh my God, I can't afford another costume.
It's okay. No, that's what Rich is saying.
Yeah.
Oh, we just go sexy, just bikini only.
All you
Honestly,
need to do is take care of what goes on your face.
dude, yeah. Like buy a mustache and be like, I'm a sexy guy with a mustache.
Okay, I'm in. Who wants to see it?
I mean, we're already kind of dressing up as sexy versions of ourselves because of how much weight we've lost.
That's true. True.
Thank you, SDFatLoss.com.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we got a lot of lines in the water.
I'm gonna go as sexy sponge candy.
Code
You're-
word for tomorrow.
You know what's so crazy is he's just been enrobed in chocolate.
I've never heard that term before.
When she said
That's
that,
how it was described of how they make the chocolate. They enrobe the sponge candy in chocolate.
And I love when we called out Polly Martin on her usage of that term. She was like, "Oh yeah, we got a machine called the chocolate enrober."
So speaking of enrobing, and this will just be how we end the show today. I want to ask you guys if it's cool or not cool. Is that all right?
But yeah,
Sure, yeah.
So when I wake up in the morning, I'm an underwear sleeper. I don't know about you guys, but I just sleep in my chonies. But I take the dog out immediately to go piss, obviously. This morning, I just walked out in my underwear. Is that cool or not cool? I
Dude,
live in a big
yeah,
condominium.
Dude,
fine.
it is 100%
Yeah, totally
okay.
I
In
thought
fact,
so too.
I think it's how you physically dominate your neighbors. Like there is the less clothes you wear in front of your neighbors, the less likely they are to ever
That's true.
mess with
That's
you.
true.
My logic behind it was I'm about to get in the shower anyways. This dog is either going to pee on the carpet or pee outside. I'd rather it pee outside. All I have on is my underwear. I'm going outside in my underwear.
There is
Yeah.
something very insane about somebody who chooses to wear close to nothing when they leave their house. Like imagine if like you were leaving for work and you saw a gentleman wearing work boots and underwear. You would just be like, it doesn't matter if
Right.
they own a dog or not.
Right.
I'm never messing with that guy. I think you're making good choices.
Tyreek Hill, when he wraps up his career in the NFL and starts his new career, he may be known as the chocolate enrober.
Take a lap.
What?
You have to do
What?
Take a lap.
Oh,
You have to be back
God.
by the time bed music runs out.
Okay, hang on.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. He's going. He's going.
Thank
Take
you
it
to
away.
our fantasy stepmom, Lauren Carpenter, who is setting us up with fantasy football advice for week 8. That is already up on the free iHeartRadio app if you want to go check it out. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, TD, who's currently taking a lap because of what he just said, which I can only describe as slightly racist.
I mean, mildly racist.
like pretty
It's
racist.
It's fine. It's fine. It's actually, Ben, you had a bad one today, too.
I think I did, didn't
It's
I?
fine.
But
It's
mine
fine.
was against white
Okay,
people.
Travis is back.
Why does it smell like eggs in here?
Sorry, that's me.
Rich saw he had the studio to himself and he let it rip.
I didn't wash my belly button.
It
All right,
happens.
we'll see you tomorrow. The herd's next.
Spark Up Friday!